Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the best television show not on television that supports two of the worst teams in the NFC East. The Washington football team and the New York Giants both took major L's this week. The Eagles come out with a major victory against the Detroit Lions, who I actually picked to get their first win on Sunday against the Eagles. That surely didn't happen. They got obliterated in that game. And the Dallas Cowboys managed to get a W with a backup quarterback. Giants Nation, I know we in the building one time, but the vibes is kind of feeling like that today. Let me bring in my brother one time, man, the strong side to my left side. What's going on, Beard? How you living, man?
You know me, man. Just another lovely walk in the park as far as Sundays go. I mean, listen, it was quite the last 48 hours between, off the field news, the Washington game, the Giants game, trades, injuries, upsets, down to the wire games, primetime games, one possession games. I mean, it was a lot to digest. And what's really interesting is, so Washington played at 4 o'clock. So I'm like, man, 1 o'clock I can get like a fully focused red zone, sit down. And the games were horrid.
Yeah.
The 1 o'clock games were so bad.
That was not a good day of Sunday football to have your team play on Monday night. I'm gonna keep it funky. It was rather uninteresting, to be for real.
Yeah, so I mean, it's tough, and I've been trying to get the troops together, pull your pants up, guys. Smile,
as your boy
stop
Tudo
crying.
would say.
You know what I'm saying? It's killing me right now. It's just so much of the I'm done with this team and I'm selling my tickets and this is a disaster and this and that, and I'm just like, dude, bye. I mean, if you, and the thing that's crazy is it's the same people that say they're done with this team said they were done with this team last week, but here they are this week again, reminding me that they're done with this team. And I'm just like, look, there's so many people who want to blame so many, aspects of our teams for, the losses, right? And the way the season is going. And I kind of sat back and I looked at it and I said, you know who's to blame? I am to blame. Okay.
Oh, you're taking the rap now.
Yeah, I'm going to take the blame. Okay. And when I say I mean the fan base, okay? Because we allowed ourselves to be naive, okay? We allowed ourselves to be naive, and we are victims of the hype beast. A and B, we didn't read the fine print, And you talked about it.
We didn't read the fine print. I like that.
We talked about this a lot throughout the course of the year. It's like when we were looking at the positives of last year, right? We didn't read the fine print because we didn't really look at those performances under a microscope to really fully grasp the magnitude of the competition that we were facing. And I think that allowed us to get caught in the hype beast, that our teams were going to be great. And normally I'm not like that because I have been let down so many times. And it felt different this time, I guess. And I allowed myself to believe the hype. And it's just, in a lot of the questions going around Twitter were, okay, so if Ron Rivera and them didn't win the division last year, would people still feel this way? And I'm like, absolutely not. Because you have to remember we're coming off of a 3-13 season, and the debacle of the name, COVID, just everything kind of was just, and we hired Ron Rivera to turn the franchise around, right? And it's not going to happen overnight. And because of the success of last year, people think that, we should be winning the division, run away right now.
Now, with you saying that, why do you think Giants fans kind of feel the same way? We didn't win the division.
No,
I think it could have to do with the rosters. You looked at the roster on paper, and it looked like these two teams are going to be able to compete. And I think a lot of hope, a lot of expectations for teams that really haven't proven nothing. And you know how I like to say, man, proof is in the pudding. When we go on our show on Parlay on Sundays, I always say, I want to wait till the player proves himself before I put him in the lineup.
Yeah.
And we just hypothetically thinking these teams supposed to be nice.
Yeah. Think about this. What was the talk in the offseason? One of the main talking points in the offseason for the Giants, right, was this is the best secondary in football because of
Wow.
like
I'm
that
like, where
was
I?
that that was one of the talking points a lot of people were saying,
A
right?
lot of people were saying that.
And just like Washington, this is the best defensive line in the National Football League, right?
Yeah,
And it's
that's
just
what y'all were getting more hype on that than we were
for
getting on the
sure, like
secondary. For sure.
nationally, we were a quarterback away. And you know what? I should have known, and nothing against. I'm not trying to slander Heineke quite yet. Okay, but
Quite yet. We're gonna wait till that matchup.
I should have known immediately once Ryan Fitzpatrick went down that was the sign that
things weren't kind of.
Yeah,
this was the shape of things to come.
Exactly. If we thought Heineke was the guy, right, they wouldn't have gone out and gotten Ryan Fitzpatrick. You know what I'm saying? So but it's just once again.
But that I always tell you about that, man.
Beast.
2 years in a row, Washington botched the quarterback situation.
Oh yeah,
bringing in Ryan Fitzpatrick was not a good look.
But we'll never know at this point.
And you talked about how they tried to pursue, maybe there was some talks about pursuing Mitchell Trubisky. That's probably a better move. And I told you about this off air, man. Mitchell Trubisky, the winning percentage was pretty decent for him for a guy who they ran out of town, and the touchdown interception ratio was pretty decent. I think that he's dealing with what Daniel Jones is kind of dealing with right now, where it's like you really can't put the team on your back completely and win a game. We like to talk about putting the team on your back when you put out a good effort. But, like, when you go up against a team that's pretty decent in the Kansas City Chiefs right now, who are a lot of people think they're on the down, but we all know they still got the same weapons over there on offense, and the defense lends you to help. Remember last show's vocabulary word of the day was a 4-letter word called help. Defense gave him the help that he needed. He couldn't go out there and get it done. So maybe, like I told you, bro, like, we're overvaluing the quarterback position. I'm telling you. I think that we're just overvaluing the quarterback position, and we expect quarterbacks to go out there and really just be able to just handle business. Don't matter who the supporting cast is, And we talked about we had to mention Mike White on this show. Mike White went out there and put up 400 yards, bro. He did it with a third-string left tackle.
Yeah, and
against a playoff contender in the Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, look, he's the first Jets quarterback. I tagged you in this one. The first Jets quarterback to throw for 400 yards since Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, since Vinny.
And I mean, the Jets team, it's a crazy, crazy thing. I mean, now the Jets have beaten the Titans and the Bengals, and it's just like, it's kind of crazy. Michael Carter finally coming along. He had a great game. He was on my bench on a couple of teams, and I mean, it's just weird how every week is something different, and Mike White went out there and he took care of business. I mean, if he's going to do that again, who knows? Some guy bet $1,000 that Mike White would have the most passing yards of any quarterback in the National Football League this Sunday.
How much did it win him?
$125,000.
Oh my God. You know how much the reason why I don't even like hearing about stuff like that, bro, is because first of all, you got to be in a certain kind of 1% of bracket of money making to even make that bet. Because I don't got $1,000 to be thrown away on Mike White. Trust me.
I got $1,000 to be thrown away on Tom Brady.
Hey, but I might if I had a good 5 stacks sitting right now, and I was like, man, I got one to kind of spare. Tom Brady seems like a good bet.
Yeah, I mean, he did, unless he's playing the New Orleans Saints. I mean,
right? They've been the kryptonite.
The Saints team has had. I mean, he's what 1-3, I believe, against the New Orleans Saints since he's been in Tampa Bay, and then 21-4 or something like that against the rest of the NFL. And I mean, the Saints losing Jameis Winston for the year. That's a heartbreaker. I mean, they
got to go make a move. I think on quarterback, they got to go make a move.
You saw Philip Rivers was like, if the Saints call, I'm answering. I mean, what about Drew Brees?
You could always go back to Drew Brees, but I think Drew Brees might have just got a little bit too comfortable with like doing the whole family life thing. He probably was chilling for 8 weeks.
I mean, he got probably the new hair and everything, man. I mean, I guess Trevor Siemian, right? Like, I mean, he was supposed to be the guy in Denver. I mean, it didn't work out. And what is Taysom Hill? When's he coming back? And Michael Thomas is about to be back soon, I would imagine, right? I mean,
you remember me saying, I would take Sean Payton over any quarterback right now in the NFL, right? Yeah. I think that Sean Payton might be the guy that could probably go out there and get Cam Newton and figure out what to do with it. They just signed Mark Ingram back to the squad. Mm-hmm. You could turn that into a kind of a triple-headed kind of running threat and maybe make it work. But, like, Siemian, That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be, and crazy thing is that they beat the Bucs, man. Like he's just one of those coaches that it don't matter what the roster is, and I think my team and your team are starting to see that. Like a bad coach is worse than having bad players on the field. Mike White out there doing things with nothing, literally scraps, bro. Went out there and beat a really good team. We'll see if it was a fluke, type of deal, when it comes to this next week. But they went out there and they signed Joe Flacco. Or what was that? Is that a waste? Is that a waste to trade for Joe Flacco?
They traded a 6th-round draft pick, which some people value tremendously, except for
you gotta value that draft pick.
Los Angeles Rams, who just say, you know what, who needs a draft? We're just
man, and I love it, bro. Me and Diggy was talking about the Rams on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. Great back and forth on that.
Like, bro, it made me go dig into those numbers even more. Sean McVay has not had a first-round draft pick since he's been there. 2017 to now,
for the next
no picks.
4 years?
Yeah, until 2023, their first-round draft picks have already been, dispersed elsewhere. But, I mean, you got players out of it. Brandon Cooks was very productive for them. You got Jalen Ramsey. They just stacking players up, bro, and getting rid of bums.
And they draft well outside of their first-round picks. Right. I mean, listen, I talked about Van Jefferson a lot.
Yeah.
Last season and just even this Sunday. And that's the reason why Deshaun Jackson got waived today and got cut. Because
which that was interesting to me though. It seemed like there might be a little bit more to that.
Yeah, because I mean I'm thinking about it like Deshaun Jackson. It's like you're finally on like a top tier winning team.
Why would you want to leave?
And you're at like this stage in your career where like the way that you're kind of being used is great for your health. I mean you're still contributing to a certain extent. So it was just a little weird to me, but they made the move. They got Von Miller. I mean, like,
love that move.
I don't remember a time in recent NFL history where I've seen teams so proactive in the middle of a season making additions to their roster, a la the Carolina Panthers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Saints getting Mark Ingram. It's just like teams are being more like, okay, we got to make this push because you never know what's going to happen. You just don't. And I think that's super interesting, So a lot has happened in the last few days. And, obviously the unfortunate news of Henry Ruggs and his situation, it's...
Yeah, with the DUI, he ended up crashing his Corvette into a RAV4, ended up killing somebody in the collision. He stayed on site, so, I mean, I got to commend him for that. That shows a good bit of responsibility, even though he was driving drunk. But they said he's facing 2 to 20 years for that charge there where it happened.
It's like the second highest level felony in the state of Nevada. I mean, the Raiders can't catch the break.
That's surprising. That's real surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't manslaughter. They said it was the charges was something else.
Death by DUI.
Death by DUI, yeah.
So
I wonder how that's all going to pan out for him. And he was just kind of on the up and up. Things were looking a little bit better for him, man. It's unfortunate. And prayers out to the family that lost their loved ones in the accident for sure.
Absolutely. And
what's surprising to me though is that you say that a lot has happened, and to me, leading up to this trade deadline, it feels kind of quiet to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is with NFL trade deadline. We talked about this a little bit last week, about how like it's not like baseball or basketball where, the trades are just going crazy left and right. Yeah. But I think it was more so just because with football, it's a little bit more difficult to get acclimated to, mid-season in a trade as opposed to baseball or basketball.
Basketball, you could just get right to it, get the ball.
Yeah, but like I think it says more about organizations and teams because when news comes out like Washington possibly trying to get Mitchell Trubisky, Tua. I mean, look what Tua's been dealing with. Literally, the Dolphins owner was like, I wanted to meet with Deshaun Watson to make this trade happen, but they didn't allow me to do so until it was too late, and I didn't have enough time to pull the trigger on the trade. And now Tua's got to go out there and play for a 1-7 team. And then, that's another thing. It's like, are we putting all the blame for the Dolphins' troubles on Tua? Their defense was – they talk about a secondary that was supposed to be one of the best secondaries in the league. Look what
yeah, and they're definitely not that. But, I mean, a lot of smoke and mirrors over there, man. I wasn't sold on that team last season, bro. I really wasn't.
I know you weren't. Weren't. Like, big shout out to AP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting that gig because Derrick Henry, who is not only just a leading rusher, but I mean is like dominating as the leading rusher. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's unfortunate that
crazy.
he's going to be, they're saying, out for probably the year. So.
Yeah. So tough weekend of NFL football.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's get some shout-outs going, man, and then get into this first game, see how it goes.
Yes, sir. Big shout-outs to everybody in chat who's watching us right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. We appreciate all the love and the support. Big shout-out to Joel in the building. Appreciate you stopping by, sir. Sunday is in the building, always holding us down in the chat.
What's going on, Sunday?
Who else we got in the building? Double Easy is in the building. What's going on, Double Easy? Good to see you,
What's up,
sir.
fam? Good talks on Twitter with the homie Double Easy, man. Tough week for the Giants, bro.
Facts. And then Kathinji Kanodi is in the building.
Hey, what's up, fam?
What's good, fam? Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. We appreciate it. My man, GQ name, Edward Squires, is in the building. Says Awthentik. Of course, the G-Man didn't take advantage of a great opportunity.
Big facts.
It was tough. And my man, No Mets, No Nets, No Jets is in the building. Appreciate you stopping by as always. Who else we got in the building? Ash Money is in the building. What's good, Ash Money?
What's good, Ash? How you living, fam?
Appreciate you stopping by. Jameson's in the building.
J-Mo.
Monique, Dallas Cowboys fan. Congratulations.
Yes.
On your victory.
Monique is on cloud 9.
Yeah, cloud 29. Shout out to Lucas checking in from Australia. We appreciate you. Said, hope we don't need headsets to watch this.
Apparently they haven't worked properly all year. I can't believe Joe Judge. You know, somebody was Maggie was saying this on Maggie and Moose this morning. Like, even if that's the case, you should have just came out and not said that. Like, that somebody in PR needs to be like, don't say that. He led the press conference off with, oh yeah, right there. He said right there. I thought that was pretty crazy. He said right there. Yeah, we've been having headset issues all year long, you know, for the first whatever games. I'm like, come on, dog. That's not the vibes, man.
Because he knew they was going to get ready to go at his throat for the timeout situation, man.
Yeah.
I mean, having timeouts at the end of that game is a whole different situation. King Tone is in the building.
What's up, Tone?
What's going on? Benjamin Wynn is in the building. Says, what's up, Awthentik?
Hey, what's up, man? Been a little bit. What's good, bro?
Carl Wilkinson. Great to see you,
Hey, what's up, Carl?
Football Talk with Benny is in the building.
My man Benny in the building. Y'all make sure to go sub up to Benny, man. Definitely one of the young content creators on the up and up right now, man. Definitely support his channel, man. Love to see the youth killing it. He got some of the best takes on YouTube, too, man. Shout out to Benny.
Shout out Benny. And hello, Maria.
With the laughing emoji. That's how you going to do me, Maria? Cowboys fan.
Cowboys
I feel
fans. You. Hey, Kyle Key. He's over here like, hey, guys, don't worry. You know, I'm a Houston Texans fan. Talk about craziness. The Texans backdoor covered that game by scoring 22 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, crazy.
I know those Ram bettors were not happy campers at all. TVN Sports is in the building. Our resident Green Bay Packers fan.
Not too much, TVN. Not too much.
Hey, Big Jeff is in the building. Said we had 8 days. 8 days.
Oh, man. And victory week it flew by. Oh, my God.
Smacked us back in the face. That's an interesting way of putting it. Glock is in the building. What is going on, Glock? Great to see you, sir. Appreciate you stopping by. And big shout out to Kathinji Kanodi for the $5 super chat. Says, my guys, missed out on some content last week. Work life. So glad for this community. These rap sessions are, these rap sessions are needed.
That's big facts. Big facts right there. Appreciate you, Kathinji.
Big shout out. And then shout out Sleepwalker checking in on Facebook.
What's up, dog? How you living, fam?
Thank you for holding us down over in the Facebook portion of things.
The Facebook universe.
Hit Squad in the building. What's going on, Hit Squad? Great to see you. And then big shout out to Joel Vargas for the $10 super chat. Says this Els from Twitter here.
What up, Els?
Great show. Who do you think is the worst coach to win a Super Bowl since 2000? I ask because I wonder if you think Ron Rivera and Joe Judge are coaches that can win a Super Bowl.
Whoa. I'd have to look at the list. Yeah.
At the list.
I'd have to look at the list.
It's not a lot in there that are bad coaches.
It's a lot of Bill Belichick, I'll tell you that.
A lot of Bill Belichick, some Mike Tomlin in there, some Pete
Yep.
Carroll in there,
Tom Coughlin.
Andy Reid.
Yep, he got one. He got a couple actually.
Harbaugh.
The one that the one that the Eagles got was with Peterson. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So Reed got
Doug
his
Peterson.
with the Chiefs.
Doug Peterson. Might be your answer.
That's it right there. That's definitely it. Hands down. And right
do
now,
I
do we think Judge and Ron Rivera? You go ahead.
I mean, listen, I think Ron Rivera probably has a better shot just because I think that Ron Rivera's leash is a little bit longer because of his, his role in the organization, where Joe Judge is just the head coach. And I think his leash is a little bit shorter. So I don't know how that would work. So I would say Ron Rivera. But, I mean, if Joe Judge can turn things around, if he's given the opportunity to, I mean.
Well, he didn't say pick between them. He said, do you think that one of them could win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that if Joe Judge Ron Rivera can, yes, he can.
I'm going to keep it funky with you. Neither one of these coaches is about to go out here and win a Super Bowl. I'm going to skip all the BS, all the jargon. Neither one of these coaches is going to win a Super Bowl. And if they don't get things going in the right direction in the next couple of years, they're both going to be out of a job.
That's harsh, but okay, thank you.
I mean, dog, what records have y'all had since Ron Rivera's been over there? 7-9 last season, and what was it before that? Did y'all get like 4 wins?
That was our first year.
Oh, he was a rookie that year, and Joe Judge is looking at a bunch of 2 losing seasons already. It's official now that the Giants are going to have another losing season, right?
No.
I mean, it's pretty much official, bro. Like, I don't see us winning like what is it? 2 more losses and we're official like out of it.
No, you got 3 more losses.
3 more, okay, 3 more. You got the 17 games. The Giants are definitely going to lose more than 3 games, bro. You could bank on that.
But we appreciate the $10 super chat for sure, Joel. New Jersey Ambassador is in the building. Says, hello, gents. Good to see you guys. Like your content. Thank you for being part of the Awthentik and the Beard family, because that's what we are here. We are a family. Big shout out to Big Pat in the building. Appreciate you.
Big Pat, what's up, fam?
Don't want to. And Marjorie's in the building, always holding us down in the chat. Thank you, Marjorie. We appreciate it for
What's going on, Marjorie?
Yeah, I mean, let's roll into them games because I'm a little baffled at this. I mean, Doug Peterson is probably the worst coach, right, to win a Super Bowl in 2000s. And I mean,
yeah,
Ron
we could
Rivera
look at that
went
list.
To a Super Bowl already.
He did, but man, that was when Cam Newton was on fire.
It was. While just want to give you guys, a little breaking news. For college football fans, the first official college football playoff top 4 teams has been released. Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and Oregon are your 4 college football teams in the playoffs as of now.
That's what's up.
Interesting. Cernox says, here's harsh. Washington, New York Giants, Houston are all dead.
Hey, I appreciate you for keeping it 100, Sir Knock, with your boy over here. Like, nah, you guys got a shot. It's not going to be another losing season. What do we got coming up? We got the Raiders, Bucks, LL. Those are 2 L's right there, definitely. And the Chargers still left.
Raiders, you might get a win there.
I don't like optimistic Beard, man. I don't like this. I don't like it. You think the Giants going to beat the Raiders? Sheesh.
I do think they can beat the Raiders. Listen,
and you thought the Carolina Panthers were going to beat us. What made you change up so much here?
I mean, listen, you guys were hurting in that Carolina Panthers game offensively. Your defense just played a lights out best game of the season for them. So that was the difference there. And I mean, there's some hope, bro. You gotta have some hope.
There's some hope.
Listen,
I appreciate it, man.
I guess it's because I am so, I'm dealing with these people on Twitter with Washington football fans who, are in this, like, the team is in fire, and so I have to have some sort of realistic optimism. I got to give a big shout out.
That was a Timism if I ever heard one. I need some realistic optimism.
You like that, right? I got to give a big shout out to Bubs, right? Bubs is a Dallas fan, and I believe this is the gentleman who was upset with me for picking.
Is that who that is? I thought that's
No,
BB
maybe
Jones.
Oh yeah, you're right. I saw the B, but big shout out to Bubs. Appreciate you stopping.
Yeah,
by.
big shout out to Bubs, man. Come on, man. Yo, BB Jones, he said he was going to be in the chat, but man, we got 4 comments with BB Jones right now. Man, just stay on that cloud with them Cowboys. Let us peasants down here talk about bad football. You know what I'm saying?
Cardinal rule. How are the Eagles in second place in the NFC East? They played the Lions. That's why.
And Washington football team and the New York Giants are straight garbaggio. That's why.
My bad, Bubs. I apologize. You're a Giants fan.
Yeah, come on, fam. Come on.
There he
come
is.
on.
Here he is.
Well.
BB Jones.
Shout out BB Jones.
Big shout out BB Jones. I know you're excited. You Dallas Cowboys got the victory. Stick around and I might explain to you how you got lucky there. And big shout out to the Giants for covering the 10-point spread like I told you guys they would.
Yeah, I mean, that was silly. That was 10.5. That was just ridiculous, man.
Man, the Chiefs have lost people the second most amount of money in the past, I think it's 2 years, besides the Jets.
Yeah, they barely cover. It's crazy.
Yes, it is.
It's definitely crazy. Let's get into this first game, though, bro.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Eagles at Lions, man. The Philadelphia Eagles destroyed them Detroit Lions 44-6 in a Week 8 to improve to 3-5 on the season and remain on the fringes of the NFC East or the NFC playoff picture. Sorry about that. Philadelphia dominated the trenches offensively, averaging over 5 yards McCary while totaling 4 rushing touchdowns in the victory. Nothing was working for the Detroit Lions offensively or defensively Sunday as the Lions fell to 0-8 on the season. I mean, that's the one thing. Look, shout out to one of the homies on my Twitter. I want to get her name proper. I just started following her today. She's a Washingtonian who is a New York Giants fan. Her name is Darlin Gal. She said, the Giants are the Detroit Lions, just a darker shade of blue. I thought that was fire right there. Wanted to share that with everybody in the chat one time, man. But what you got on this Lions game versus the Eagles here?
They finally decided to run the football. A big
Facts.
shout out to Awthentik and picking up Boston Scott.
I talked about that. I did.
He put you some nice fantasy points on the board. And shout out to Awthentik and the Beards fantasy football team. We won again. We're on a roll. But
Man.
Jalen Hurts only completed 9 passes on the entire day.
They took him out in the fourth quarter. It was 38-0. He was 9 for 14 with 103 yards, 7 rushes for 71 yards when they put in Gardner Minshew, who was 100% completion percentage, 2 for 2 for 11 yards.
And did you see his awesome jersey sleeves?
I turned that game off probably.
Oh, it was all
quarter.
over Twitter. People were trying to figure out what it was. He cut his sleeves and they're like flapping. It was.
Probably didn't even think he was going to play.
Gardner Minshew.
They probably got him like the wrong size jersey. He didn't even think he was going to play.
Listen, the Detroit Lions offensive line is absolutely horrible. Goff was running for his life the entire time, and DeAndre Swift had nowhere to run. 12 carries, 27 yards. It was just, but the Eagles, I would imagine that, yes, they're playing the Lions, okay? And so, some of this stuff you have to kind of take with a grain of salt. But I think that formula is something that they need to look forward to moving forward. I mean, Jordan Howard. When was the last time you saw Jordan Howard play football?
Yeah, and it kind of messed me up because he was taking some of those red zone carries that I thought Boston Scott was going to get, because Boston Scott got them 2 touchdowns early, and then all of a sudden they bring in Jordan Howard to take some carries. But I do think that this says more. Yeah, they combined for 4 touchdowns, 117 yards, 24 carries. But I think this says a lot more about the Lions than it does about the Eagles.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I said you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt. But it's still, to me, it's interesting that, okay, Sirianni, you see what you can do if you run the ball, and you're doing this without Miles Sanders. When Miles Sanders, like you said, it was 12 carries for Jordan Howard, 12 carries for Boston Scott, and 13 carries for Kenneth Gainwell, and then the 7 from Jalen Hurts. That's 46 run plays to 14 pass plays.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to do that every time, obviously.
That'll be the last time we see that probably for 5 years. I mean, when I saw the box score, I was like, Jalen Hurts is 9 for 14 for 103 yards. And they never got tested. They're just like, we'll just keep handing it off till you can stop it. And they never stopped it.
Yeah, and that, like I said, Detroit Lions offensive line horrible. They gave up 6 sacks on the day. Goff didn't have a chance the entire game. But also, it's just the Lions they know what they are. So like they're doing really funny stuff. Going for it on 4th down. The game wasn't that far away until like the second half. Before this half in the second quarter, they were driving. They messed up that whole situation. They missed a field goal. I think it was 17-0 at half. There was only one turnover in the entire game, and that was a Darius Slay fumble recovery for a touchdown. So it's just like
shout out to Darius Slay, scoop and scored that real nice. It was a good play.
Yeah. So I mean, the Eagles. If I'm the Eagles or I'm an Eagles fan, I would like to see remnants of this game moving forward as far as trying to but trying to replicate some more balance using the run game. And I mean, we've been talking about it all year, and Jalen Hurts, he did what he needed to do to get the win. He, ran off for a couple of first downs, made a couple of nice passes, and didn't turn the ball over. But it is, I mean, I was so big on Jalen Hurts in this game. I thought he was going to have a monster game. His first game in the last 13 games, I didn't score a touchdown, either rushing or passing. So,
yeah, that's definitely interesting there. Dallas Goedert had a pretty decent game too. 7 targets, 6 catches, 72 yards. I mean, the Eagles wide receiver unit didn't have to do much. Quez Watkins led them with 2 receptions for 18 yards. Like, how do you win this big with these kind of stats on the board? Just straight running the rock all day long, which that doesn't work in today's NFL. The Detroit Lions kind of look like I was going to say a college team, but that might be giving them a little bit too much praise, man. They look bad, bro.
I mean, they got outrushed 236-57.
Crazy. It was 17-0 at the half, and then the Eagles put up 21 in the third quarter to put that game really away.
Yeah, crazy. Big shout out to the homie Lax044 for the $4.99 super chat. Says Giants would have won, but Jimenez decided to do something this week instead of his usual nothing. He picked a great time to not to be invisible.
Yeah, because he could have just, man, we're going to get there, bro. Wow.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
That was a ridiculous penalty. The end of that Giants game was just completely ridiculous. Everything about it. I mean, just falling apart, man. Falling apart. We're good at that. Yeah. But
so, I don't know who the Eagles have next week, but we'll see how.
Pull them up real quick. I think we still got them here.
Translates. The
Chargers.
Eagles have the Chargers.
That's gonna be fun. Good luck, Philadelphia Eagles. That's gonna be really tough for y'all to get a win against them Chargers. But they riding high right now after stomping out them Lions. So maybe some confidence can get them in the mix. Yeah.
Chargers lost to the Patriots, so it's gonna be interesting for sure.
I talked about that too, man. Remember I told you last time they was playing against Bill Belichick, it was 44-0.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Chargers was going to go in there and do something.
They were up 14-0 at one point, I think.
Chargers that's not safe these days. Back in the 90s, a 14-point lead to get you the dub. you remember when I'm sure you remember, but I just wanted to bring it back up. The Santana Moss Monday night game.
Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite Washington Redskin at that time moments. I mean,
yeah, that was
where I was, what I was doing, everything about it. Like that was a crazy moment. That's what I'm saying is like, sometimes it's like, there's games where you're like, okay, all we got to do is get an onside kick here and then, score and then another onside kick. I mean, the Texans, they got it down to 14 points when they were losing by like 38. I mean, it's a little different, but you understand what I'm saying.
Let's not forget, you're the one that doesn't believe in dinosaurs and garbage time. I believe in garbage time. And that's how that happens. You get that big lead like that, bro. You just playing prevent defense for the rest of the game. You're just trying to not give up the big play.
Unless you're Minnesota, who looked like they were playing prevent defense the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, you know who they're going up against. The Giants played prevent defense the entire game on the opposing team's 50 and above. And then as soon as they cross the 50, they're like, we're going to try to lock them down here when the field is shortened. So, I mean, I think it worked well for the Giants. I mean, normally that's not a real good recipe, especially when you got a team that can run the rock. But that's the thing about Dallas, bro. Dallas can do it all, bro.
Yeah, they can. They can. They really can. They got some weapons, man.
Yeah, best weapons in the NFC for damn sure. Might have the best weapons in the whole NFL for real. Zeke, you see the Zeke Elliott play? We're going to get to it.
We're here right now.
I can't believe we're already 35 minutes in the show. All we talk about is the Eagles.
Let's do it.
I can't believe it. Let's go to these Cowboys one time, see what we got here. All right, man. So the Dallas Cowboys survived their Sunday night affair without your boy Dak Prescott in the building. I can't believe this. If any game upset me the most, it wasn't even a Giants game. It was this game, this Cowboys Sunday night game. A lot went right for the Cowboys on the final drive, including an interceptable ball that somehow landed in Amari Cooper's hands for a big gain. And I'm going to tell you, bro, your boy, Brashard Breeland, single-handedly ruined that game on them last 3 plays. Amari Cooper's 3 plays and a touchdown. They go to Amari Cooper pretty much at the end of this game, all on Brashard Breeland. Dude, get him out. I'm telling you, Coach Borsko is cutting you. Quick, you out of here, bro. But the Cowboys did enough to defeat the Minnesota Vikings 20-16 to extend their winning streak to 6 games and improve to 6-1, while the Vikings fall to 3-6, and Kirk Cousins adds another primetime failure on that long list on his resume. Vikings took the lead on a drive that had 3 penalties on Dallas for 39 yards to go up 16-13. And I'm going to tell you, that was when I was like, I'm worried. Y'all not moving the ball. We're talking about just 13 points in the game, and y'all get 39 of your yards to go on a scoring drive to go up. I was like, oh, there's a problem here. And the Cowboys have been committing penalties all night. They had 11 penalties for 96 yards. Cowboys last drive, they're down 16-13. They're in Vikings territory. It's 3rd and 16, and the Vikings get a delay of game. I believe it was because they had too many people on the field or something, so they had to finesse a certain way there. 5 yards gives the Cowboys a 3rd and 11 from the 20-yard line. Zeke Elliott, who did not have a really good game, catches that short pass and damn near trucked the whole entire Minnesota Vikings team to get the first down and some more. And on the next play, you get the fade route to end the game. Cooper to Cooper, hanging with Mr. Cooper, Amari Cooper for the touchdown. Cooper Rush, who filled in for Dak Prescott on the day, was 24-40 for 325 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. Zeke Elliott finished the day with 16 carries for 50 yards. Pollard added 26 yards on 7 carries. Amari Cooper was the man of the day, man. Amari Cooper, man, I got to put some more respect on his name. He was one of those wide receivers I had in that Brandon Cooks bracket for a long time. And I think Amari Cooper is now emerging as definitely one of the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. Had 8 catches in this game for 122 yards and a touchdown. And the crazy part is he seems to always be playing pretty banged up, because I've always said this too, he seems undersized to be a guy playing out on the outside like that. The Vikings were 1 for 13 on 3rd down. The Cowboys were 50% on 3rd down. I think that was the biggest difference in this game. But what you got on this one, man?
Okay, before I, give you guys a breakdown, a big shout out to RB Brooklyn in the house for the $9.99 super chat. Says, salute Awthentik, F Joe Judge. Only thing to watch with the Giants is DJ. Bad interception, but love how he came back and scored. The O-line is the worst I've ever seen. Where are our weapons? Brooklyn in the building.
Big facts.
Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to the homie Jeff for the $2 super chat. Says Penny makes a big play and then a dumb penalty.
Yo, my Giants fans is ready. They're like, bro, I ain't trying to hear about these.
Yeah. Big shout out to Mario for the $5 super chat. Says, I know y'all waiting for us to lose. Not yet.
Hey, I'm not even waiting for y'all to lose. One, y'all got the cupcake schedule. In the whole NFL, y'all probably got the easiest schedule, I swear. Outside of that Bucs game, y'all really, me and the beer was talking about this off air. The only other teams y'all really beat was the Chargers, and who was the runner-up?
Y'all barely beat the Chargers. Y'all got some flukeness to beat the Chargers.
They beat them, though. They beat them.
The Patriots.
The Patriots, who they're not really a good team, but they sitting at 500 right now, I believe.
And that game came down to a last second, too. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just against the better competition is when they've had their closest games. That's
and they've handled
fact.
business. I mean, they went out Thursday night, opening day, competed with the Bucs all game. Cowboys, everybody the Cowboys got to put the league on notice right now. They're a good team. They're probably top 3 in the NFC right now. I'm going to keep it funky with you. We was talking about this off air too. You were talking about the Cardinals being undefeated coming into last week, blah, blah, blah. Cowboys are a better team. Book it.
I think I don't know if I would put the Cowboys in top 3. I think I have them number 5. Cowboys number 5. Listen, I got to give a big shout out to the coaching staff. I think the coaching staff for the Cowboys did a phenomenal job in this game. I think they called a good game for Cooper Rush, and he made the throws when he needed to make them, which is the most important thing. And in reality too, big ups to the Cowboys because they won the game, but the Vikings, they handed this game to them. First of all, I don't know what they were doing offensively because the rhythm of their game was so completely off. Dalvin Cook, they waited until the last drive of the game to start feeding Dalvin Cook like at a consistent basis. Everything was just kind of like, one carry a drive. And then they had so many drives that were just horrible. They had 7 drives with less than 20 yards. The Vikings did. I mean, that first drive, they drove down the field and it was a beautiful, touchdown drive that capped off by Adam Thielen with the touchdown. We're going to get to a couple of these super chats really fast before they pile up and I lose them all. Big shout out.
StreamYard got to do something about that, but I know why they're doing it. We'll talk about that later.
Big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. Says, Salute, Awthentik, the legend, dropped by your office to pay our proper respects. And for all Giants fans around the world, slap all stinky Eagles fans.
Hey, shout out Tuto, man. A little pun to what's my man, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's a good one. I was watching like Pineapple Express, a bunch of like stoner movies the other day. I watched How High and I watched Half Baked during the session. I like to put movies on during my recording sessions, and I was like thinking about other classics like that. I got to go back and watch Pet Detective one more time. The first OG one. I remember seeing that in theaters.
It's a good one. That's a good
one.
Big shout out
Finkel.
to Jeff. Laces out.
Laces out.
Shout out to the homie Jeff for the $2 super chat. Says, we got headset gate now. Giants the clouds of the NFL.
This is a good point Jeff bringing up here, man. Like, Twitter makes football either way better when you win or way worse when you lose. Like, some of the stuff that I'm seeing on Twitter right now, I'm just like, yo, y'all are despicable Giants fans right now. Y'all are delusional. You're delusional. You're not watching the games with your eyes. You're literally watching them with your heart, hoping that we're going to be a team that you want us to be.
Half of them aren't even probably watching the whole game. I learned that about Washington fans this week. Brian Mitchell did a poll, and it was like 30% of the people didn't watch the whole game. I'm like, what?
Yo, did you see the poll that Pat McAfee and them did on the Bucs game with Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah, with a minute 41 seconds that they thought he was going to win.
Right, and then after the game, how many people answered the poll after? So that it kind of balanced out, and it said that like 45% of them were saying Tom Brady wasn't going to go down and get the game-winning drive. And it's like, y'all, the game over, and y'all literally are filling out the poll. You know how insane you got to be up here to be doing that?
Yeah, I do. Listen, I had a guy on Twitter I was going back and forth with, a Washington football team fan, who was blaming Chase Young's season because he was filming commercials in the offseason. That's the reason why Chase Young is not having a good year.
Yeah, football is it's when you're down in the dumps, you're down in the dumps.
Now, listen, Monique, I'm not necessarily taking anything away from the Cowboys defense because, I mean, Minnesota was 1 of 13 on third downs. A lot of that has to do with the defense that the Cowboys played. I mean, but if you go back and look at Kirk Cousins had an off night. He definitely had an off night.
They were trying to play too conservative with him, and I think that's because what he's put on his resume in primetime games. They scared for him.
And I think this is the thing. It's like the Vikings have Thielen and Jefferson, right? Trayvon Diggs did really well on Justin Jefferson in this game. There's a couple of plays where he got flagged for holding and pass interference. But
Jefferson, man, dog, that dude, bro. I was talking about this with somebody else too, bro, about like he had a better season as far as yards go than Randy Moss. I was talking to Mike Swan about this. But when you use your eyes, do you see anything close to Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson? This dude had 4 targets on the day. He dropped 2 of them. Bloop drops 2. We're not talking about like no contested drops. We're talking about some Evan Ingram, Darius Slayton type drops. To me, he's a good wide receiver, but to bank on him as being like your main number 2, Thielen shows up every game. Every game.
Mm-hmm. And the Minnesota Vikings failed to capitalize on turnovers. 2 turnovers, 0 points. If you're playing one of the best teams in the league, you have to capitalize on turnovers. That's the whole point of a turnover.
Oh, the Cowboys are one of the best teams in the league now. I like that. Yeah, coming around. America's team.
Listen, hey, no. I don't know about all that. But anyways, look, the Minnesota Vikings the Cowboys kind of got lucky. the Vikings didn't play their best game, and they only won by end of the game touchdown pass. And listen, a lot of this stuff came on kind of like interesting plays. The Amari Cooper catch was just great concentration, but I mean,
the
like,
ball hit Breland in his chest.
You got it. Oh my God! Listen,
he's falling backwards like, poop. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What are you? Oh man.
And then it's just like this Cedric Wilson, pass that was like for like 40
beautiful
yards.
Throw. CeeDee Lamb with the beautiful catch.
Yeah. And then CeeDee Lamb had a horrible catch horrible drop in this game too, wide open in the middle of the field. That was a bad drop.
If you remember when they played them last year, CeeDee Lamb had a similar drop on third down, just like that.
In that same situation.
Same situation. CeeDee Lamb, his hand, which is why I don't care if wide receivers drop the ball. I'm going to keep it funky with you. Every wide receiver is going to drop it. You get these anomalies who are just like, don't drop nothing, Larry Fitzgerald type vibes, right? But like most of these wide receivers are going to drop a pass here and there. I can take that. I'm all good with that because a guy like CeeDee Lamb, he's coming down the field and making plays for you when you need him.
Yeah. It's just I put a lot of this on the coaching staff too. I just think they just coached a bad game. I mean, you have Dalvin Cook, and look, they did something good. The Vikings did, which they haven't been able to do all year, and stop the run to a certain extent. I mean, Zeke had 16 carries for 50 yards, right? And like 12 of those came on the last like couple of plays. And I mean that play. The thing that the Cowboys did that the Vikings didn't do in this game was they made big plays when they needed to make them.
And really just at the end. I mean, I broke down that end, bro. It was 3rd and 15. How are you not making that stop? They don't got Ray Rice over there in Dallas. It's the only person I know that can convert 3rd and 4th downs that are that long. You see Ezekiel Elliott, he's got 3 defenders right in front of him. Make the tackle, and then you allow them to kick the field goal, and you're going to overtime. Or you might get that opportunity that the Vikings did get at the end with Kirk Cousins, and it was just a failure. Why are you throwing 2-yard out routes when you're trying? You got 40, 50 seconds left in the game. Y'all running a 2-yard out route? Like, it really makes no sense, bro. Like, the Vikings really played to win this game, I think. But I agree with Monique on this, too. Like, the defense for the Dallas Cowboys, Randy Gregory, dog. I need a guy like that on my team, bro. 7 total pressures, and he had to strip sack. Without that, you're not even going to be in position to even be able to compete to win this game. Kirk Cousins, listen to this, bro. The average depth of target was 4.3 yards on the night. 22% of his attempts went past the first down marker. What are we doing?
In 2021, mind you.
What are we doing? You playing the Dallas Cowboys, got a backup quarterback. Y'all didn't take no shots all day long.
And I wouldn't even be upset if they didn't take no shots and ran the ball. You have Dalvin Cook.
Well, what did Dalvin Cook finish today? Because he had some decent yards, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 78 yards. And 30-something plus yards of those came on the last drive.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous with the Vikings. That's why I can't put no faith in them, man. When it really, the pressure cooking, they cannot get it done. It's been like that since Kirk Cousins been over there with them. And defensively, they didn't play a good game either. I mean, you're playing a backup quarterback. You allow this dude to put up that many yards on you?
And it was big plays, too. A lot of those yards were on big plays.
And the CeeDee Lamb one isn't even his throw.
No.
Kudos to him. They were showing his pops in the crowd, man. And it was his pops and I think his wife or his girlfriend, right? And as they were driving, they got around the 40, and you could see the wife or the girlfriend got super hyped, right? And Pops is like, you could see him piping her down, like, pipe down, pipe down. It's not done yet. Pipe down. Let him put the ball in the end zone. And then Cooper delivered that throw perfectly to Amari Cooper. Yeah. Over the shoulder, left side, that's inside out throw. That's a beautiful throw, man.
That's what I'm saying. Is that, like, I don't want to make it seem like I'm taking anything away from you Cowboys fans, because like I said, they made big plays when they needed to make them, and the Vikings didn't. And that's just how it all boiled down to in this game. And it's unfortunate because, in a weird way, it's like, okay, so the Cowboys won. I'm not one to give up on the season yet, okay? But the reality is it would take an absolute disaster for the Cowboys to lose this lead in the NFC East. Now, I wouldn't put it past the Cowboys because the Cowboys still have to play their biggest opponent of the season, which is the month of December.
Nah, bro.
But
look.
But
You
the
can,
Vikings losing is a wild card situation.
Nah, bro. Listen, man. Listen. You're doing way too much right now. The Cowboys could literally lose all their starters like the Giants did, and they'll still win this division. Put a wrap on that, bro. The Cowboys got the division.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They do. So it's like, the Vikings were one of the leading leaders in the clubhouse as far as the wild card goes. So,
Yeah, so now the Eagles are a game back, which is ridiculous.
What's really, now the Saints threw a wrench in everybody's wild card hopes. That's for certain. But they lost Jameis Winston. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with
I thought the Saints would be close towards the end of the year with or without Jameis Winston. Sean Payton has shown you that the quarterback over there really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Even when Drew Brees was out there with the messed up ribs or whatever it was, he was looking like Peyton Manning in his last season. He was looking bad. And they were still getting close to winning games and stuff like that. So, I got faith.
Is good.
Yeah, defense is really good. Run defense is solid. And they still got Alvin Kamara over there, who's one of the best running backs in the league. I don't care what nobody say. Dude is a baller. And you brought Mark Ingram back over there. That's going to just help out Alvin Kamara be even better than he already is. For me, man, I don't even want to talk about playoffs, bro. At all. You could talk about them with your Washington football team all you want. You're not going to hear no playoff talk from Awthentik about them New York Giants.
I'm just listen, I've always been a guy that says you're in. We were 2-6 last year.
Yeah, that was when Dallas Cowboys didn't have the quarterback.
Yeah, I know. Thanks.
And you saw it in that game, man. It's like when Zeke don't got Dak, it's like the juice ain't there for him. He needs Dak, bro. And maybe we're overlooking this as just fans of this, right? We're just overlooking the fact of what a quarterback can do at the line, like how Victor Cruz was talking about Eli Manning. Checks, adjustments, putting your running back in the right position to get the yards that he's supposed to be getting. And then you get this third stringer in there or this backup in Cooper Rush, not really making the checks at the line. You kind of got to go with the plays. They were talking about this with Daniel Jones. Like, if Joe Judge and them got some headset issues, well, Daniel Jones got to step up and be able to make these reads and calls at the line. Peyton Manning was calling all the plays when he was a quarterback in the league, bro. He didn't even have offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator was just like cheering them on. So like I just think, man, when we're paying these guys millions of dollars, the expectations got to be higher.
I understand for sure. I understand. And you know who has high expectations? Tuco! The $4.99 super chat says, "How do the Eagles players train and prepare for each game? Studying the Miranda rights. Learn how to shut up and remain silent."
Tudo in the building. Hey, yo, shout out Tudo, man. Every show, yo, Tudo, yo. I appreciate you, fam. Definitely appreciate you pulling up, man. We appreciate the super chat.
Monique, she's gonna hold this one over my head, isn't she?
Yeah.
If you're playing one of the best teams in the league, quote unquote. From,
so look, you see, this is why I like clarity. Let me give the beard a moment of clarity here. Okay, so the Cowboys aren't in the top 3 teams in the NFC, but they're one of the best teams in the league. Explain this to me. How many to be one of the best teams in the league? What ranking do you have to be in? Top.
You have to be
10?
in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs. Okay, that's interesting, bro. That's interesting right there. He don't even believe that. He don't even believe that. I promise you. So,
that makes
Washington
sense,
football
right?
team, when they were in the playoffs last year, were one of the best teams according to that definition you just said right there.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
Well, okay, that's an
my good old pen here today too, Monique. I'm writing down some notes on this kid.
Well, that's an asterisk. That's an anomaly.
So Washington was one of the best teams in the league.
No. That was different. That was different. Okay.
Don't let me put that one on Twitter. They're gonna be roasting you.
No. That was different.
That was different.
Okay. You know what I mean. Like, listen, look. They're one of the best teams in the league. They are. Right now. Okay? I mean, their record says so. But
I'm gonna need that Canada Dry money, bro. I've been drinking the hell out of Canada Dry on air. We got about a good 50 pack upstairs. I've been drinking the hell out of these, dog.
Oh, man. So, yeah, congrats. Cedric Wilson as a quarterback is 4 for 4 in the NFL, right?
Yeah, Cedric Wilson. And I saw Jeff was talking about Cedric Wilson. I actually had this one queued up right here. This is a really good point. Cedric Wilson has made some great catches and made Michael Gallup somewhat expendable. So teams looking for a wide receiver, trade deadline is here and gone now, right? 4 o'clock, it was over, right?
Yeah, it's over.
He should have been a player that could have got traded for a move maybe for next year. I feel like still on that rookie deal. I feel like I can't remember if this is his last year on the rookie deal or if next year is the last year. I can't remember, but he's a good wide receiver, and I think he's going to lose a lot of playing time to Cedric Wilson, who's a little bit more explosive.
Yeah, they're kind of similar players, but Cedric Wilson's got a little bit more speed, I think.
I don't think they're similar. I like Michael Gallup for the fade routes, the bigger, go up and get it kind of catches, post corners, stuff like that. I like Cedric Wilson for more of the intermediate stuff, little stop routes, short routes, dig routes, stick routes, and clearly reverse passes. he could definitely do those too. So I do think they're a very different style of player, but I like them both. I think they're both really good wide receivers. The Dallas Cowboys, they're not scared to draft offensive talent, man. And they go out there and get them dogs, bro. I think they learn, man, sometimes
and
these
Micah
light-skinned
Parsons.
What about him?
Parsons. He's all over the place, man.
Oh, yeah, he's all over the place for sure, man. I love what he's doing. And he had a good game in pass coverage this game, too. He only had 2 receptions caught on him the whole day. Adam Thielen, man, caught all 6 of his catchable targets on the night. You got to get that guy the ball more. That's just plain. That's just what it is, man. Danielle Hunter got hurt, man, my Jamaican homie. Danielle, he got hurt in this game.
Out for the year, right,
I think he's out for the year. And the Vikings, no pressure on the quarterback all day, man. You got a backup quarterback. You get no pressure on him. 3 sacks. And, look, they had only one guy on their whole defensive front had multiple pressures on the night. That is not good. It was Everson
and that's
Griffin,
the team that was leading the league in sacks going into this game, tied with.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. Sacks early in the year be hard to gauge. You remember Philadelphia Eagles? They were up there last season. They had about, I think it was 16 around this time. And everybody thought they had a good defensive front, and then it kind of came back down to earth towards the end of the year. But we'll see. A lot of football left to be played, but I'm going to keep funky with you. I ain't thinking about no playoffs. I ain't thinking about no playoffs.
We'll see. Big shout out to the homie Rio, Rambling with Rio. We will be on his channel tomorrow night live at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link for that show is in the description of this video. So if you guys want to, at the end of this, click that link and hit a little reminder on that show. Come over and support your boys, Awthentik and the Beard, chopping it up with the homie Rio. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That should be solid. So, it's going to be a little bit boring with how bad our teams are, but it should be a solid stream.
Oh, man. Now everybody's coming at me about the playoffs.
Yeah, I like energy today, though. It's keeping me even keel. It's like we're really bad, and, we need some good vibes, man.
That's what Awthentik and the Beard do. Shout out to Tuto for $4.99 super chat. Says, what's the best part about dating a female Eagles fan? I have to read this before I read this.
I like it. Tuto. Shout out my man Tuto in the building one time. Shout out to the homie Tuto, man. Tuto's one of the biggest supporters of Awthentik and the Beard now, man. Yeah. I feel like he wasn't here last year either. I feel like this is his first season really chopping it up with us, man. So big salute to the Italian homie Tuto one time in the building, man. I want to take a commercial break, but, man, forget that, man. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go into this next game. 71 in the building. Let's get it. And we have Washington next, right? Ooh, yo, every time I see the graphic for the Broncos, I'm like, that colorway is fire. That colorway is fire right there. The Denver Broncos and the Michigan Wolverines, bro. I'm a big fan of those 2 colorways, bro. Something about that navy blue hit different. I'm really messing with that. Washington at the Denver Broncos, man. It wasn't pretty, but the Denver Broncos kept their playoff hopes alive at home with a 17-10 win against the Washington football team in Week 8. It was a quintessential Teddy Bridgewater stat line on Sunday. He went 19 of 26 for 213 yards with a touchdown and 0 interceptions. He was just efficient enough at the intermediate level to fuel the Broncos offense to a win. He went 5 for 7 for 101 yards on throws between 10 yards and 19 yards downfield. Melvin Gordon III was having himself a pretty nice day until disaster struck late in the 4th quarter when he fumbled the ball while Denver was trying to burn the clock out for a win and gave Washington a chance to tie the game with 21 seconds left. It was their second chance, actually. Taylor Heineke and company still failed, and the Broncos improved to 4-4 on the year, while the football team slips into last place in the NFC East at 2-6 with your New York Football Giants. The Broncos had lost 3 straight and they got off the bench one time with a win against the Washington football team. It's good to see Jerry Jeudy back in the lineup, man. He had 4 catches for 39 yards, but the Beard, what you got for this one, man?
We should be 2-7 after losing that game twice. I mean, that was
that's a good one.
That hurt. Look, okay, I'm gonna start this off with the opening little thing. Okay, not like I got a lot on my mind. Okay, so just sums up not only the game, but I think it sums up the Washington football team in the last few weeks, if not the entire season.
Wait now. I'm not going to call it a rant before you go into this soliloquy.
No, it's not soliloquy first.
Whatever it is. What do you want to call it? Tell me what you want to call it.
No, this is just a little stat nugget.
Some stat nuggets. I need your response to this real quick.
Okay. I actually like Washington's quarterback. I think they can build something similar to Dak Prescott. You're high. You're high.
He's a Cowboys fan too, bro.
You're like Taylor Heineke's throws. Okay.
You're high. He said you're high. Shout out to the one time in the building.
$4.99 super chat says someone has been able to access to Awthentik music and it's playing in our training center all day, every day.
Hey.
We should pay him off.
Hey, that's what's up, man. All them streams add up to a couple of pennies too, though. So it's all good, brother. You kind of are paying me off just a little bit, man. I appreciate y'all rocking to that. The Color of Us, available on all streaming platforms right now. Yeah.
Yes. And you can find the link for that in the description below as well.
Our team, man, they're on it. Our team is really good, man. Graphics department, description department, God, administrative. God, we got it, man. We hired some really good people, man.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
gotta love the hiring process. BB Jones says I am high. That makes sense.
Fact. Shout out BB Jones one time in the building, man.
Listen, this is the nugget I was going to say, okay?
All right.
The Washington football team had 19 plays inside the Denver 30. Of those 19 plays, they got 17 total yards.
Inside the 30.
Inside the 30. Those 19 plays inside the 30, they accounted for 17 total yards. On 11 of those 19 plays, they were either no gain, negative yards, or a turnover. On 11 of those 19 plays inside the Denver 30.
Horrible.
I mean, I don't think I've seen anything as bad as that. I mean, does there anything get worse than that? I mean, that's pretty bad, right?
1 for 5 on fourth down.
Okay, 1 for 5 on fourth down. Let's just...
Minnesota 1 for 13 on third down.
Yeah, I mean,
nah, it's not as bad. I'm just playing with you.
Not as bad as this, right?
Yeah, that's not as bad.
But
shout out Don Vito one time.
$1.99 super chat. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it, man.
Denver 7 of 13 on third downs. We still haven't figured that out. I mean, look, the Washington defense in the last 2 games has played way better than they had previously in any other games in the rest of the season. Okay?
Hold on. Say this again.
The Washington's defense in the last 2 games have played better.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So we can't necessarily blame the defense for this. I mean, shoot, Chase Young forced a fumble and gave you a second chance to lose the game.
You want to know what was crazy about that? It was his only pressure of the day.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 22 or 29 passing snaps. He had 1 pressure on the day. He was out there on the field for 40-plus snaps.
Yeah. It was, I mean, and people are going to blame Chase Young, and listen, they getting rid of the ball fast too, but we had some other players stepped up and made plays. It's like, sometimes it's about the presence on the field and forcing the play to the other side and allowing your teammates to make the play. And we're going to talk about Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain dropping that interception. I mean, dude, it was he threw the ball right to him.
That's why he's on defense. He'd have been a wide receiver if he could catch.
And he been running his mouth too. You got to make the catch, make the interception, and stop running your mouth. Okay?
Yeah, man. Tell that to Adoree Jackson.
Okay, now let's go into yardage. The Washington football team somehow managed to rack up 342 yards to Denver's 273.
Yeah.
Which amounted to no points, obviously.
Let me stack onto that nugget real quick.
Stack on.
Y'all outperformed the Broncos in rushing, passing, total yards, first downs, time of possession, and total plays.
I mean, that's why I'm saying that. Like that goes. That's why I started with that, because that stat is everything. 2 blocked field goals. Okay, look. I was all. Dustin Hopkins was not the guy. We got rid of him, right?
Hey,
but
shout out to Louis T real quick, because he said this. He said the one position that you never want to try to fix during the season is kicker. And your boy can't kick the ball over the line right now, and his last name is Blewett.
That's all. And listen, I'm not one of these people who's fire Ron Rivera and this and that, right? But look, if you're going to get rid of your kicker, you have to have somebody lined up. This dude's never even kicked in the NFL before, man.
Yeah, was he wasn't? Was he on the practice squad or something? Or like where?
No, I told
they
you.
Just signed
listen,
him.
I don't know if you saw my tweet, but we were watching the game. Shout out to the homie Fats, okay? And we were on the couch, right? And Fats is like, "Where'd they get this kicker from, man?" I'm like, "I don't know, UPS or FedEx." And Fats is like, "What was he kicking? Boxes?" Because literally, that's where he came from. I can't remember if it was UPS or FedEx, but that's where they got him from. He has been out of football for 4 or 5 years. It's just that is just bad execution on the management side of things.
Yeah, facts.
Because 2 of his first 3 kicks in the NFL have been blocked. That's the problem. And then injuries obviously got to the Washington team. By the end of the game, we didn't have one starting offensive lineman left.
Hey, Bubs, I'm right there with you, bro. I just wanted to acknowledge this. I'm right there with you, bro. I want Odell back. Straight up. Giants Nation in the building, man. Y'all know what I heard he put together a compilation of all the times he got missed by Baker Mayfield, and it's on his Instagram or something like that. I got to go check this out. And his dad didn't make it to the NFL, I don't think, but he played college ball at LSU too, I believe.
Yeah. Actually, I want to say he did play in the league.
He might have did go to the league. You're right about that, because he was nice. I do remember that. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you on
the
okay.
No worries.
on the Blewett kicker stuff here.
There's nothing else really left to be said on that part. But like the 1 for 5 on 4th downs, it just kind of all goes into each other. Like the inability to do anything in the red zone. Okay. Yeah. The inability to kick because your kicker can't kick over the line.
Which is why he's probably going for it on 4th down so much.
Yeah.
No faith.
And in the 4th down play calling, we looked at the first 4th down. That right there, like I knew it. I was like, oh, here we go. Like we're driving down the field. Things are looking good. And shout out to Taylor Heineke, because he did make one good throw this game. That touchdown pass to
that was a nice
Carter.
One. Yeah.
That was a beautiful pass and a beautiful play. But there's so many bad.
Who is number 77 that plays right tackle for y'all?
Okay, so this is Sadiq Charles. And
that dude is a bust. He's a bum. Okay,
he's a 3rd stringer, and this is he only played 3 snaps all of that year. He's been hurt. Drafted out of LSU, 4th round draft pick.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing people that are supposed to be depth pieces come into a game and look awful. Like, dog, there's a lot of money that is generated in the NFL. Like, Joe Judge has one of the biggest coaching staffs in the NFL. Dog, I want 2 head coaches. I want 2 offensive line coaches. While we working over here, I need you to be treating them guys like first stringers, bro. They get in the game and they look awful. Literally on both the opportunities that Taylor Heineke had at the end of that game. The first one, 3rd down, right tackle, just go ahead, bro, go get him.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke gets smashed.
He actually had, he just had a couple of really bad plays.
In the worst moments ever? Yeah, when you got your 2 last chances to win the game? Come on, dog.
Yeah. So, listen, that has to go back to coaching though too, right? You have to know your personnel. You know what I'm saying?
We need another head coach, bro. We're not talking a couple thousand, bro. I know dudes right now that work security down on U Street that, dog, if you pay them a quarter of the money that some of these dudes making, they'll make sure the quarterback don't get hit. Hold them. Do something. Don't just let the quarterback get punished like that, dog. That makes no sense to me, man. And as a New York Giants fan, you know I'm dealing with that all day long. And at the same time, bro, these quarterbacks got to be able to step up and make the play. You got to find a way.
There was a couple of times where Heineke, I see quarterbacks do this, and it's one of the most frustrating things. I've seen Carson Wentz do it a lot. I've seen Jared Goff do it a lot. They step into the sack.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
But that's how they training them. They training them that when you see the pressure off the edge to step up.
Yeah, but I mean,
because a lot of that stuff is getting lucky, bro. You showed the one that I showed you before we got on air, where I was like, this is what I like about Taylor Heineke right here. He getting a little lucky too, though.
Oh yeah,
he's sneaking through the line. One dude literally is like kind of getting blocked, and he just like didn't see little Taylor just running right by him, like, you know. So a lot of it is luck. The game is moving very fast.
Yeah, and too fast for Taylor Heineke at times too.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's sure. And listen, I'm glad that, you know, big shout out to Tuto for the $4.99 super chat. There's a huge difference between NFL and rugby players. We might get hit all day, bloody and bruised, but no way in hell we give up. And big shout out to Tuto one time in the building.
Big shout out to Tuto.
No quit. No quit.
I'm glad that, you know, this Taylor Heineke thing is finally, you know, gonna just, you know, he's gonna ride off into the sunset. He'll be a backup quarterback, you know, probably for Washington for, you know, the next couple of years. Maybe not backup.
What makes you glad about that? What y'all gonna do? Draft somebody?
No, I mean, I'm not. What I'm glad is that I'm glad that the debate is over. You know, like, we don't have to have this back and forth anymore about Taylor Heineke being a franchise quarterback or
anybody who was saying that Taylor Heineke's a franchise quarterback is smoking white rock, bro.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I told you about the guy who literally has been writing these articles, you know,
in third person.
In third person, who was a former NFL draft scout or whatever. Anyways, but there's a Heineke hive out there. That
but you know, the thing is what do you do now? What do you do
right now?
Now?
Right this second?
Yeah, and you know the Washington football team is going to try to win more games. So don't
for sure.
Don't expect a top 4, top 5 pick.
I
mean, you got the Texans, Jaguars, Lions right there. That's top 3. Now, that's how I'm feeling.
Okay, but listen, of those top 3, who's going to draft the Lions will draft a quarterback.
Texans probably.
Maybe.
And from what people are telling me, it's not that many
the
quarterbacks
don't
in the
have
draft.
A first. There's not. But I mean,
Miami got their pick, right?
Yeah.
So Miami's got the Texans' first-round pick, which are they going to draft a quarterback? Oh, my God.
Yeah. So, you know, like, that's the thing. You got to think about some of these teams that, you know, but.
And my thing is why I think about it when there's really no quarterbacks out there. Who would you get if you had your pick right now? Pick the guy you could get. You had the number 1 pick. You bringing in a quarterback from college. Who do you get? You see what I'm saying, bro? Like,
man, I because there's a lot of football left to be played. I'm not concerned about the draft. But now, would you bench Taylor Heineke at this point and play Kyle Allen?
No, bro. Taylor Heineke is not all the reasons why. I mean,
he's not all the reasons why.
I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm not saying you're saying that. But what I'm just saying is your team is bad. You could start a quarterback, but the only way to start a quarterback is if you think you got the franchise guy. You're not getting that franchise guy in free agency.
No.
Right?
We're gonna have to get somebody who's going to be what they thought Ryan Fitzpatrick was gonna be.
Oh my God. That's gonna look bad.
What if it's Mitchell Trubisky?
That's gonna look.
That's
gonna look like Taylor Heineke.
Marcus Mariota.
You know, Teddy Bridgewater's an interesting one because are the Broncos gonna just move on from him? They're sitting at 500 right now. They wouldn't be sitting at 500 with Drew Lock. So everybody, I've heard that a lot. You're not the first person I heard say that. Like I see a lot of people on TV saying that. Like, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, stopgap quarterback, and you know I've been against that all year long.
Yeah.
Like people need to stop calling Teddy Bridgewater this whole game manager thing. Dude takes care of the ball, but he also makes plays for his offense. He runs that flood scheme like a beast. I've been talking about it all year because Mark Schofield broke it down at the beginning of the season in his preseason video on Teddy Bridgewater, and I was like, I'm sold. That dude can play. And if you feel like you can win games without having that franchise guy, according to my definition, Teddy Bridgewater's perfect for it. Imagine Teddy. Why did the Saints move on from Teddy Bridgewater? He'd be great over there.
Yeah, I was into because he played. Wasn't he only lost one game when he took over the starting
Breeze went
job
down
during an injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
It's interesting, man, and I just don't know. Like I always say this: we overvalue the quarterback for sure, especially on bad teams. We're looking at, oh man, it's quarterback's fault. It's the quarterback's fault. You look at Washington and you look at New York right now, and we still got to get to that New York game. But if you look at both those teams, they both can't run the ball.
and they're not. I mean, in this game, Heineke once again, like it just blows my mind. 39 passes.
Yeah, way too much.
Way too much again. And listen.
Yeah.
You had Patterson finally, when we were talking about waiting for Patterson to get the rock more, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for him to get the run more. Patterson had 11 carries. Gibson had 8 carries. Patterson averaged 4.2 yards per carry. Gibson averaged 4.3 yards per carry.
Yeah, but the Gibson, the average is so misleading. It's on 8 carries for 34 yards, man. You can't do nothing with that. You can't do nothing with that.
You have to have some sort of rhythm for these running backs. Like these other running backs are getting 18, 20 carries.
Yeah.
25 carries. How do you expect a running game to get going on 8 carries, 11 carries? I don't know how that works.
How many? What were y'all in the red zone? Do you got red zone statistics?
I'm over, I guess. I mean, I
want to check that before we move on from this game, because if he's leaving more field goals out there again and again, this was a 7-point game, right?
Yeah, 7-point game. And, okay, while you're looking that up, Taylor Heineke, you got to at least try to throw the ball to somebody on these two last-second attempts to tie the game.
The one joint, your boy Charles, bro. Oh, my God. Taylor Heineke just gets straight mollywop, bro.
Well, yeah,
it's so bad.
But I'm talking about the actual pass attempts, the one where it was like the mini Hail Marys.
On one of them, he almost gets sacked on one of them.
Oh, the one of them he got intercepted. That was the first time the game ended. And then the second one.
And the penalty right before it. It's like, what are y'all doing?
And the second one he threw out of the back of the end zone, like basically into like the second row in the stands.
Yeah, it might have been flip-flop too, I think. It might have been flip-flop.
No. The interception was the first loss, and then the second time we lost the game
was out the end zone.
Stands.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you got to at least – that one you got to give him a chance to at least make a play on it for sure. Let me see. I got to go ESPN to go to get the red zone numbers for y'all real quick, because I definitely want to see that.
It has to be probably 1 or 2 – probably 2 for 5, I'd imagine. 2 for 6.
0 for 2.
Not even – what's that?
0 for 2.
0 for 2.
Yeah. That's weird. I mean, it's like, dog, just kick some field goals, man. Just kick some field goals. You kick a couple, man. You might, here at the end of that game, you're just kicking one to win it.
Doesn't make sense. So a lot of this is coaching, man. Look, it's a bad team. Bad teams find ways to lose. That's what Jonathan Allen said. Something has to give. They're practicing right now on their bye week, so we'll see what happens if we can turn this thing around. Like I said, we were 2-6 last year. We ended up winning the division at 7-9. That's probably not going to be the case this year.
Stop bringing that up, because that ain't happening this year. That is not the Cowboys got 6 wins already, and we thought 9-8 was going to win the division at the beginning of the year too. Cowboys got this. It's a lock.
Hey, Kevin, can you do me a favor, man? Can you recruit some more Washington football team fans? Let them know that I'm here to talk about Washington football team. Thanks, buddy. And I do appreciate you coming here every week
buddy.
and supporting me.
Shout out to Kevin in the building one time.
Appreciate
did you get
brother.
this one right here? Oh, yeah, that one and another
this?
one, I believe. Yep.
Big shout out to the homie Jeff for the $2 super chat. Says, bring that venom on the New York Giants Awthentik. Did I miss another one? I don't think I missed
this one right here.
Oh. Why do Philadelphia Eagles fans keep their season tickets on the dashboard? So they can park in handicap parking spaces.
Oh, that's a low blow, Tudo. Come on, man. Tudo, that's a low blow, bro. Shout out to Tudo one time, man. So, man, the Washington football team, bro, we've been talking about Joe Judge a lot and his conservative vibes in the New York community, man. 3 for 11 in y'all last 3 games on 4th down. I think it's time to either find a kicker or, do what I was saying, when your kicker goes out for the Pittsburgh Steelers, hey, which one of y'all think y'all can make a kick?
Hey,
get in the game and kick it.
Hey, look, he got lit up, bro.
Yeah, he got crushed.
We're gonna punt on first down, boys.
Hey, that might be a good idea, man. You can avoid those fourth downs, clean up that conversion rate one time. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Good game, guys. Get him next
Good game,
week.
guys. See you next week.
I mean, listen, before we leave to the next game, just listen to this one more time. 19 plays inside the Denver 30.
Yeah.
17 total yards on 19 plays inside the opponent's 30.
It's
11 of the 19 plays were either no gain, negative yardage, or turnover.
And they gave y'all back-to-back fumbles, tried to keep y'all in the game.
You should have seen us at Freight to Tank's house. It was just me, Tank, and Fats.
Yeah.
And that ball came loose, man. We got lit for like a good 7 seconds.
I feel so bad for y'all.
Until we were like, think about how that felt. We lost the game twice.
Felt like death.
Twice.
And then coming back from it and then dying.
And bro, the
It's
second
terrible.
one, the first one, the interception, I'm like, what can they not do? Like, what's
The
wrong
interception
with
was on fourth down, right?
Yeah.
Y'all are bad.
And then he
Y'all
threw
are-
the
y'all
ball.
are-
Like, you guys, personnel, everything. It's all bad right now.
And then the other
but-
interception was on a Hail Mary or something, like before the half, right? Taylor
Yeah,
Heineke's
but
first one.
I mean, I didn't even get a chance to get into that, like how
Yeah.
horrible that end of the first half possessions are just so bad.
Tell me about it.
We
I'm
allowed
gonna get to that.
another touchdown to our opponent going into the half. And then we did very similar to what you guys did. Penalties, draw was
Yeah,
bad.
ours was really bad. Shout out to Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams combined for 82 yards and 1 touchdown on 19 rushes. I think that was the real difference maker in this game. Tried to control the clock, man. I think that worked out, man. There was no Broncos wide receiver who had more than 4 catches, and they somehow came away with the win. Tim Patrick led them with 64 yards receiving. It's an ugly game. Doesn't say much about the Broncos either. I mean, the Broncos, kind of garbage if you ask me. Let's go to my garbage team, Basura, New York Giants, one time. Shout out to all my Dominicanos, my Puerto Ricans from New York in the building one time. The shorthanded New York Giants put up a valiant effort on the road in Arrowhead Stadium, but Patrick Mahomes led the Kansas City Chiefs offense down the field to set up a Harrison Butker go-ahead field goal with 1 minute, 7 seconds remaining in the game. The Giants couldn't get into field goal range on their final drive to tie the game and ultimately fell to the Chiefs 20-17, man. Now, I didn't have that much high expectations for this game, man. I didn't think that the Giants were going to really win this game. Y'all know how I do. I like to make my 2 picks. I make my realistic pick on Thursdays. I pick the Chiefs to win the game. On Sundays, I like to make my optimistic picks here. I know we talked about this whole, we're not going to be pessimistic. We're not going to be optimistic. We're going to be realistic. Realistically, the Giants are sitting at the bottom of the NFC East right now. And Joe Judge, man, let me tell you, my man Joe Judge, I turned on the press conference after the game just to see what my man was going to say first, okay? My man said there was a software update issue with the headset. Hey, dog. Hey, dog. My man said that there was a software update issue with the headset. He also said, right before we get to this super chat, we appreciate you big time, Lucas. He also said that it's been a problem all year, that for at least the past 3 to 4 games, he's been having trouble with the headset, and that's why he called the bad timeouts. I want to give you 50 of these things. Shout out to Lucas.
Big shout out to Lucas for the $50 Australian super chat. Says, hey, Awthentik, what sort of NFC East analyst would hold a live auction during a Giants game? Do you know how hard it is to scream at a TV for dropping interceptions, then instantly have to admit that is a gorgeous screamer in Sugar Pulse?
Hey, yo, shout out Lucas one time.
Hey, yeah, because Lucas was definitely dropping it. I'm like watery. I'm laughing so hard from going from the headset to that. Like, it's just like a great combination. But Lucas would come in and give me updates on the game during my live auction. So I appreciate that.
That's a great comment right there, Lucas. We appreciate you, brother, man. That's major with the Aussie vibes. Yo, that's crazy right there. That's crazy, man. So let's talk about some of these mistakes, man. And oh my God, the nerve of some of you Giants fans on Twitter talking about the referees. I saw somebody said the referees are too busy blowing the Chiefs. That's why we can't get a win. Come on, are you the Chiefs? Let's break down these penalty numbers real quick before I go into because I'm about to get heated a little bit here.
It's astronomical, and not even just you guys.
Penalties, bro.
But the Chiefs combined, the two of you guys. If you want them, I'm sure you have them, but I have them.
Yeah, I got them. The Chiefs was what 12? Was it 12 penalties on the Chiefs?
Yeah, 12 penalties for 105 yards.
So you tell me how the referees are too busy blowing the Giants when they got called for 12 penalties. We're gonna break this down. We're gonna get into some stuff here. Woosah. Before we got on air, I said, Num yo rengekyo. I don't know if y'all know about what's love got to do with it, but yeah, when Tina was getting the business beat out of her, that's how the Giants be getting beat. Shout out to Tina Turner, one of the greats one time, man. But let's talk about these giant mistakes in this game one time, okay? The Giants defense makes a big stop with a minute and a half left before the half one time. Giants get the ball back somewhere around the 30-yard line. We're kind of moving here. We looking like we pressing up against the 50. Daniel Jones doing some things. Offsides, Will Hernandez. Next play, holding Nate Solder. I saw a Giants fan on Twitter say it was Daniel Jones' fault because he rolled that way.
No.
That was Nate. That's Nate Solder. And then you get a delay of game on Daniel Jones on the next play after a penalty. I don't understand. 3 straight penalties. And then Benny, shout out to my homie Benny, Monique's bro, in the building one time. He texted me in the beard and he said, why y'all ain't throw a Hail Mary there to end the half? I was like, man, they had to play it safe, man. You get 3 penalties back-to-back. Imagine what could happen on the 4th one. He was like, you're right. It could have been a pick 6. The Giants take a kneel down to end the half. Now, to make things worse, we deferred the kick, so we got the ball at the half. Guess what the Giants do at the half? 3 and out. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's how you finish out the half and start? Like, Garrett, I'm going to need better play calling. And I did see some head scratchers in this game from Garrett where I was just like, what is going on with you? Now, the Chiefs allow us to linger around. I won't even say allow us to linger around. I'm going to say that the Giants defense really put up a good fight in this game. The secondary played a solid game outside of Darnay Holmes. And Darnay Holmes made what would have been a play of the game, but you get an offsides from O'Shane Ximines. You can't blame this on the refs, okay? The Giants are driving late in that game. You get a big reception from Eli Penny, which was his only stat of the day, bro. It was his only stat of the day. He gets a taunting penalty. Literally, he gets up all hype. Oh, yeah, he's doing some of this, right? The defender comes up to him. He goes, yeah. Come on, dog. It's your first play of the season. You ain't done jack the whole season. And you're going to get a taunting penalty. And we know, over here at Awthentik in the Beard, we don't like them taunting rules. We don't like that. But when you do it like that, did he not deserve that penalty?
Yes, he did.
Get out of here. I was about to say, because if you side with Elijah Penny on that play, I was liable to hit you with one of these one time.
Were you gonna?
Man, it's just about to be Awthentik show one time out here. We are not gonna have the Beard talking about no.
You were gonna throw the book of Eli at me for that.
I was definitely gonna throw the book of Eli. And here's the thing: it's like that's when that penalty is deserved. When you're like, meh. Come on, what are you, an 8th grader who's never made a play in your entire life? Come on, bro. Did you see Kadarius Toney in the first half? When I want to say it was Honey Badger. Honey Badger was trying to give Kadarius Toney like them I'm an OG vibe all day long. Kept after every catch, after every play, getting right in his face. And Kadarius Toney was just like, when he got that first down, Honey Badger's all in his face. He wasn't even looking at him. He was just like, it's a first down, bro. It's a first down. I don't know why you here. It's a first down. And we're talking about a rookie who's literally been on the field for about 8 games. Not even 8 games, because he didn't play the first couple games. Garrett didn't know how to use them, or there was something going on. Critical penalties late, man. I'm not even going to break down this whole game. There's no reason to. Y'all saw it. They let us hang around in this game. Daniel Jones on that final drive.
Well, before we go into that, can I throw in a couple more penalties at you?
Throwing some more penalties, man. Throwing some more. You messed up my setup, but throwing some more penalties. Go ahead.
Oh, man, my bad.
Go ahead, throw in the damn penalties, man.
Hey, Crowder.
Tay Crowder, major penalty. Yeah, pulling off the helmet.
The face mask.
That one wasn't even a face mask. It was just a bad call.
Bad call. Yeah. I mean, and that all leads up to the no timeouts and the sacks to end the game.
Giants got me heated right now. These damn Giants got me heated right now.
I mean, if you think about the way that Washington lost and the way that the Giants lost, I mean, it's not like you can't really. Can you point to one thing?
Penalties?
Penalties? Yeah, penalties. Probably it, right?
The trash that we put on the field?
I mean, look. What about Booker? Booker had a good game, 125 total yards.
You know, it came on like 2 big plays. I was talking to Patrick about that one too, man. And it's like, yo, when you rush for 60 yards on, what was it, 13, 14 carries or something like that, you had a couple good plays. You didn't have a really good game. But I think that we're just so desperate for a running or a rushing attack that when you see somebody doing anything decent in the New York Giants backfield, we're like, yeah, he had a good game. When in reality, it really wasn't that great. He was not a difference maker, and that's the thing about the New York Giants. We don't got no difference makers. And I'm scrolling back. I'm looking for this conversation I had right after the game with an ex-New York Giants tight end.
Well, while you scroll for that, big shout out to Joel Vargas for the $10 super chat. Says we, as in the New York Giants, should be 5-3.
No
Atlanta,
way. We
Washington,
can't say that.
and Kansas City should have been dubs. From costly dropped interceptions to costly offsides from the defense, our defense has been the biggest factor in all of our losses, in my opinion.
You know, after week 3, I felt good about saying that. You know, when you got hopes of this being a good team. This game, we're still dealing with them injuries, man. We're toilet paper soft, man, on this New York Giants team. There's no dogs for real on this offense for real at all. I mean, I think that Atlanta's not a game we should have won. No, I can't give you Atlanta. Can't give you that. I'll give you Washington because they got the call wrong on the offsides on Dexter Lawrence. I'll give you Washington. Atlanta, I cannot say that's a game that we should have won. They didn't play, and I'm glad we'll bring this all back full circle here, okay, because this is what I was going to get to. What I would do to have an Eli Manning back on this team again, bro. Because, look, it's not Daniel Jones' fault that we lose in these games, okay? It's not his fault, but he's not a difference maker. When you get these opportunities to make real plays at the end of games, that is when you got to put the team on your back and go down there and do things like Mike White was doing or like Cooper Rush was doing. And we talking about 2 dudes that ain't even got no business being on the field right now, outside of these injuries that they're dealing with from their quarterbacks, right? Daniel Jones on that final drive, and maybe this is some blame on Jason Garrett a little bit too. A 3-yard pass to Evan Ingram. Then he gets sacked, and then an incomplete 3-yard attempt on 3rd down, and then on 4th down you get sacked. Dog, real deal quarterbacks who got that clutch gene, that is not going to happen. That is why I keep telling people that he is not a franchise quarterback. People I saw people on Twitter try to twist it into he's our franchise quarterback. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Hey, I did think he was about ready to do it because the way he came into the huddle, like, cause you know they got Monday night, they got the cameras everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The way he came into the huddle, and they give you the little stat where this quarterback has had X amount of third, game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime, and then he's like dapping everybody up, and he's getting the play in.
It looked like it was going to be something.
It looked like it was going to be something. I'm not.
Then you got 3 yards on 4 downs.
That's when it ended so fast. Listen, you're so right about the clutch part, right? Now
he never does it.
Question.
He never does it, bro. Beard, let's keep it funky. When you lived here and we used to watch games together, I'll be like, that moment. I wanted you to keep that up on the screen too. If you could find that, bring that back up.
I got it.
Because I want to respond to that one. But you'd be here, and I'd be like, this is one of those Eli moments, bro. This is it. Yo, when I played ball, I live for that moment right there, bro.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, there ain't no jitters running through my bones when I'm on the field and it's time to do that. You as an NFL quarterback, I know it's a way different playing stage. We're talking about the biggest stage, right? But you are an NFL starter. You are in your 3rd year now for the New York Giants. Does Daniel Jones have a comeback victory like that where you got the last drive to win it? It was the Saints that? He's got 3 total, bro. Oh, my God.
But how many wins total does he have?
Maybe a good 10 wins.
I don't know if it's even that much.
It might be right around 10 wins.
Yeah. So
I can add those up because last year the Giants were 6-10. We won Seattle without him. We won the Bengals game that he started, but he didn't finish it. So he got 5 wins last season. The season before that, he got 3 wins, I believe.
That's 8-2 this year, so 10.
And 2, so he might be sitting right at 10. And I'm gonna address this one comment right here, right? So we were up 14-7 in the fourth quarter against Atlanta. Shout out to Joe Vargas one time in the building. With that kind of thinking, the Saints should have definitely beat the Giants then. They were up by 11 points with 7 minutes left in the game. We can't look at these woulda, coulda, shoulda wins, I feel like. Win the game. We've been talking about this with the Giants for 5-10 years now, bro. We get to these games where it's like, oh, man, we're down there. We're supposed to win it. And then you get a 63-yard field goal from Graham Gano. Or you get a 60-yard field goal from the Philadelphia Eagles kicker at the time. Or you get Evan Ingram collapsing and dropping the ball and the defense collapsing around him. We can't say that we should have won those games. I saw Mario said that the Dallas Cowboys should have won against the Bucs outside of a pass interference call. Well, the real deal is the call was made and they lost. There's no should have. You know who should have won the game? The Saints should have won the game against the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you want to know who should have won the game against Washington? The Giants should have won that game.
The Giants should have won that game.
It's woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff, and fans like to do that with everything.
Yeah.
We should have drafted this person. Or we could have done this.
In hindsight of the L's. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like when you see that this guy failed, you go, oh, we should have got that guy. Or when you see the team lose, you go, oh, well, we should have won that if this, that, and the third went this way. But that's why the game is 60 minutes. Daniel Jones, why didn't you just come out in the third quarter and not go 3 and out? There was 3 and outs in this game.
Yeah, and the 3 and outs were at bad timing off of either preceding a score by Kansas City or following a score of Kansas City on.
Oh my God! And the point that you brought up off air when we were first talking about this game, it's like Patrick Mahomes is going down the field on the first drive of the game, bro. He gives you an interception here, and then you go right back and go, "Hey, you want the mulligan? Hey, man, let's tee off again. Start this thing over." Like, come on, dog. We can't keep giving this quarterback excuses. And this is why I brought up Mike White. And when we were talking about it off air, I was like, I'm glad you wanted to bring up Mike White. Because Mike White, he's out there playing with his third-string left tackle. There's no excuses. Corey Davis was banged up. I don't even know if he played in this game. The wide receiver core for the Jets is they're terrible. They're awful. The Jets are an awful team. They got nothing going for them. But still, he finds a way to put the team on his back and win the game. So for me, I'm just sick of waiting on everything to be perfect around Daniel Jones. I know what Daniel Jones can do, and I've been telling people the evaluation period is over. But we got to stop saying he needs more help. He has help. The defense gave him all the help that he needed in that game, man. They were getting turnover after turnover, just making plays all day long. And when he really needed some help, Shane Zimenez jumps off sides.
Look.
Darnay Holmes gets the interception. They're in Chiefs territory at that time. You're kicking that field goal to go up now at least 17-14 or whatever it was. You're going up by 3 points at the end of that game. You might be able to put up 7 on the board there. Instead, mistake after mistake. And I'm also sick of saying, Joe Judge is here to, bring us this disciplined football team. At the end of the day, man, you an adult, bro. You're a football player. Don't jump off sides. You're looking right at the ball. He's looking down the line when he jumps off sides. Dexter Lawrence, I don't care what the referee said. Bro, you right in front of the ball.
Big shout out to Lax Ofo for the $4.99 super chat. Giants are 2-6. Why is Eli Penny taunting someone for a mediocre 8-yard game? Just run back to the huddle, dude. You barely play.
Where he literally looked like he wasn't even supposed to get 8 yards. He looked like his whole equilibrium fell out in front of him, kind of like Daniel Jones when he was running too fast, and it dragged him an extra 4 or 5 yards. What are you hype about, bro? We're not even in field goal territory yet.
And so this is my question though I have for you to kind of go back to the Daniel Jones thing and the, the fourth quarter comeback and all that stuff, right? And the no timeouts and the headset thing. It all kind of comes back. Do you think that, some of that you have to put on the coaching staff?
I missed that comment. I kind of want to see it. He said, he's a quarterback we can win with, but he's not a franchise QB. Spot on, bro. Spot on, Jeff.
And so do you think that a lot of that has to go on the coaching staff, knowing that, this game is a close game? We have to leave timeouts for Daniel Jones at the end of the game. How does that come into play in your mind?
I'm one that will never know, right? But I am one that believes what Joe Judge is saying about the headset. But you just can't say that.
Yeah.
Eventually Joe Judge has to say, I screwed up right there. That's on me. I take full responsibility for that. Next question. You know how easy that is to deflect? Instead, he got them in the press conference when they asked him the one question, and he said the headsets have been, having malfunctions, and he literally said software update like it was an old iPhone 6 or something. I could not believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it, right? He says that, but then, Jordan Renan ain't never going to let you just get by with no quick answer. So he, reiterated the point. He's like, do you still think, maybe there's a way that you could, relay your messages to the quarterback without the headset? If you knew this was going on for this long, why haven't y'all corrected it? And then Joe Judge is just getting mad. Dog, just own up. We screwed up. We mismanaged our timeout situation there. We definitely should have timeouts at the end of a game. It's on me. Granted, I'm doing this in hindsight, right? But for a head coach of the NFL, bro, they're paying you millions of dollars. They're paying other people millions of dollars. They're paying other people hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure that you right. You know how, you remember when George Bush said that he botched the fool me once statement?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not only on him, but it's on the team, bro. You got writers, you got people that we know George Bush can't speak at all. Somebody got to be there to make sure that he makes the right decision there to say the right thing. Okay? Take ownership, man. Not once has Joe Judge taken ownership in the press conference saying, I botched that, bro. That was on me. I messed that up. And at the end of the day, things happened throughout the game where, look, we felt like we were in a position where we couldn't lose a down there and we had to call a timeout to save it. But then they came out of the timeout and did something silly. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's
they
the
did
worst
something
part
silly.
about it. And that's the thing that kills me, too. And it just goes back to bad teams find ways to lose is coming out of a timeout penalty or coming out of a timeout and allowing a huge play. Because that happened
happened to us on
game,
defense. Oh, my God, man.
And it's just or just – and – I feel like it's with us week in and week out with Washington and the Giants is the last 2 minutes of a half and the first 2 minutes of the second half and the last 2 minutes of the game. It's just and this is the thing too is that's why yes it's so difficult the line that we're riding of. Is it on the coaches? Is it on the players? Is it on the management? It's so much that you can't just pinpoint the blame on one individual player or even on one side of the ball.
You have to start with the coach. The head coach, you got to start with him. He's the person, he's the captain of the ship, bro. You got to start with him. And then you can place blame on the way down. But for people jumping off sides, people out of position, Patrick Graham, we got to speak about Patrick Graham in this game, who did a fantastic job of moving James Bradbury to the inside. He was playing in the slot all day long. I was watching someone streaming, and they said
and held Travis Kelce didn't have a game.
He didn't have a game at all, and he fumbled that one. But I was on somebody streaming. They were saying the Giants defense doesn't look like they changed much up, and I'm like, are you not seeing this? James Bradbury's in the slot all day, and that was the Giants also played pretty much. Our safeties were 18 to 20 yards back. We were playing three safeties sometimes. And I talked about this, when the Chiefs were on their side of the field, we pretty much played a prevent defense. At times, they were rushing three. And they were like, we're going to let you get these chunks up front, which is why Tyreek Hill had what looked like to be a big game on paper. He had 12 catches for 94 yards and the one touchdown. But they said, you know what, catch it all up front. We're not going to allow Tyreek Hill to get the big play over the top.
10-yard, he would catch the ball a yard past the line of scrimmage, and he would just
move
for
fast.
10 yards.
Did you see the one where he caught it on the right side of the field, and he literally ran horizontal for 16 yards, and then he finally decided to cut it up, and he got the first down, man. But I love what Patrick Graham did in this game, and let me not give all the kudos to Patrick Graham because I don't know who made that decision to say, let's move James Bradbury to the inside. Somebody had asked us.
I'd imagine it'd be him.
I wouldn't. I'm not going. Just like people want to give Joe Judge all the kudos for what he does, when it comes to draft prospects and all that stuff. I don't know, bro. So I'm not here to give kudos to really anybody on this 2-6 team right now. To keep it funky with you, I don't know. Maybe Joe Judge is the captain of the ship. I don't know. Maybe that was his idea. Why haven't we done that earlier? We've been getting gashed by tight ends all year.
And that was the point I wanted to make before we get to this super chat was. That's the biggest thing for me about holding these coaches accountable, whether it's Washington or whether it's New York, is that we are 8 weeks into the season. It took 7 weeks for you guys to move Landon Collins down into playing linebacker, and he had one of his best games of the season this past game. It took you guys this long to try and do something different, put Bradbury in the slot. Obviously I know you're game planning for the team, but these sort of adjustments need to happen more frequently, not even just week to week. In-game adjustments.
It's taking them too long to adjust. It's just taking them too long to adjust. And, I mean, defensively, we look like we're kind of doing some things. I don't know if this says more about the Chiefs than it does about the New York Giants, but they went out there and that defense played a good game. They kept us in it. Gave Daniel Jones all the help that he needed in that game. The Chiefs were 2 of 6 in the red zone.
Yeah.
They were literally playing bend, don't break. But this the thing, the Giants offense could not sustain drives, man. This reminds me of that game y'all had against the LA Chargers early on in the year. Remember where y'all had like 40-something plays and they had 70? We had 56 plays. The Chiefs had 77. Both teams had 11 drives, though. So that speaks to not sustaining the drives, man. The Giants were 2 of 3 in the red zone. We just not getting down there. And I broke down all those red zone numbers on Twitter. If you do want to see some of those red zone numbers I was breaking down, just at me on Twitter, because my whole thesis about breaking that down was that you're better off maximizing your attempts in the red zone rather than trying to be efficient. The Buffalo Bills was my model team as an example of red zone offense. They're down there around 27th in efficiency, but they're maximizing their attempts. They're like top 3 as far as attempts go. You got to find a way to get down there. Or score when you're outside of the red zone, which the Giants don't. We can't do that either. We did it against the Saints a little bit. But I did like what I saw of the tight ends in this game. I think Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph both had decent games, both had touchdowns on the day. It was good to see them utilize them while we were in the red zone. And I think, fans are so hard on Evan Ingram. They're just like, get him out of here, trade him. One, he's got no value. 2, we don't got no good tight ends on this team. Everybody's talking about Caden Smith. Bro, I watched him for a year. He was not that good. He was not that good.
He's average at best.
He's average at best. Evan Ingram, when utilized correctly, can be a guy. But it just seems like now in this game, especially with Jason Garrett, when it came down to it, game-winning drive, why aren't you using the things that got you here, the things that worked? Devontae Booker was the leading wide receiver for the Giants on the day. He had 5 catches for 65 yards. Why didn't we run a screen? Down there when the game's on the line, why not run a screenplay to him? Right? I don't know where Kadarius Toney was, but he seems to be another guy that he's always banged up now. And all Giants fans in the beginning of the year were like, we want more Kadarius Toney. Did they forget that he had the injury in minicamp and all that, and he was dealing with the COVID stuff? Kid couldn't even find the right pair of cleats.
They thought that he was a bust at that point, remember?
Right.
I don't know, yeah.
And I think the bust part was not from the Giants organization, actually. Or the Giants fan base. That was more from other people saying, you guys got a bust out there. The Giants fans were like, use him. Especially after they saw him get a couple catches. They're like, you got to use him. People in this game were like, why isn't he getting the ball more? Throw it to him more. He's just coming off another injury.
Yeah, and then he hurt his hand in this game too, right?
Yeah. Had to go back to the locker room for a little bit. Then he came back and he said, I don't know why I went to the locker room. I like the answer, though. That's what I'm talking about. Leave it vague, man. Stop giving all these details about the team, man. But the Giants defense did a great job in stopping Travis Kelce. I thought that was a good thing. And they tamed Tyreek Hill just good enough. But Mecole Hardman, I don't got his numbers in front of me, but Mecole Hardman was going off. He made some big third down plays to sustain drives for the Chiefs. The Giants don't have that guy. When you stop our top players, we don't know where to go. And the quarterback is not the guy to do it. He's not the guy that's going to be like, yo, I don't care if we got Colin Johnson out here catching passes. This is going to work. I'm going to make this work. And if it don't work, I'm running it. It's just game after game after game. The Giants fail the exact same way. And we're the kind of team that our quarterback can't throw an interception, and we win the game. Washington football team, same exact thing. Your quarterback can't throw one interception, have a couple of sacks on the day, and y'all win the game. Daniel Jones was sacked 3 times in this game. Those numbers look all right. 22 of 32, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But at the end of the day, those are the kind of numbers that scream, I need a good team around me.
Yeah. Big shout out to Stephen Lilly for the £5 super chat. I'm sick of the head coach not doing the basics right. First McAdoo, then Shermer, now Judge. They all wallies at doing the basics and allowing stupid penalties.
Yeah, I mean, more games than none, the Giants are allowing major penalties, man. To have that many penalties in this game, what was the number again?
Consecutively at that.
10 for 88 yards. You had 3 of them back-to-back on one drive, 2 of them back-to-back on another drive. And then you got fans saying that the referees, this is what I wanted to bring up. The tight end that I was talking about, I think his name was Scott Stevenson for the Giants. He was tweeting me saying, like, yo, referees need to be held more accountable. We need to start docking their pay and stuff like that. I kind of agree with him a little bit on that in one sense, but this not the game that after this game for you to be saying that.
It's not. I mean, look, you already said it. The Chiefs had 12 penalties
12 for
105 yards.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
Big shout out to Kathinji Kanoti for the $10 super chat. It's all about egos. I feel like Judge and all of Giants leadership is so set on being right and not on winning. Awthentik is speaking facts. 8 weeks in, same mistakes and lack of adjustments.
Big facts, Kathinji. Look, I was looking at Maggie and Moose this morning, and Maggie was like, we're 8 weeks into the season, and this is the first time we're hearing about the headsets? Really? And you're saying it's been a problem for the whole season. 8 weeks in, yeah, man, we've been dealing with a headset problem. I've been calling bad timeouts all year because we ain't got the iOS 15 on here. Like, what?
Yeah, I think
run in the plays then send in, when I was in high school, the way we ran plays, right, the quarterback had a wristband, and we ran in plays through the wide receivers. We had 3 wide receivers that rotated the whole game, and we would run the play in. So if you got headset problems, run the play in. What is the play clock in the NFL in there, like 35 seconds? You mean tell me you can't get plays off in 35, 40 seconds?
Shout out Stephen Lilly for the £2 super chat. I actually thought the refs were okay yesterday. The only one that I saw was the face mask.
It did look like a face mask live. Yo, I be commending these referees sometimes because they old as dirt and they see stuff that I can't see. I'm like, how do y'all see that in real time?
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's just, we're too late into the season to be having these kind of excuses, man, from the head coach. And it's like, if I pride myself on being a good leader, right? Like, if you need somebody to step up in a work environment, whatever, I'll be the dude to start delegating and be a leader. But when stuff goes wrong, I'm going to also be that person to be like, man, I messed that up, man. That one's on me. I'm the one that told you had to be here at this time, blah, 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 and I was wrong. I read the text wrong. That's on me. Joe Judge got to man up and just say, it's on me. You blaming players, penalties, offsides. You blaming everything but yourself. And at the end of the day, you the one that came in here that said you were going to put a product on the field that the New York Giants community was going to be proud of, that it would represent the New York Giants people in the community that is in the blue-collar community of New York Giants. Bro, this is not it. And we got some good players. So I can't keep blaming the players. And just like I was talking about with the Washington football team game, like there's enough money here, okay? There's enough money in the NFL to get – the Giants got like 500 coaches on the staff. Why are the backup linemen so bad?
Yeah.
Oh, and I had one dude tell me this. Before we get into this, I had one dude tell me this on Twitter. He said, the Giants' offensive line is not a concern. What kind of football are you watching?
Not that you're watching soccer because...
Like, what kind of football are you watching where you think that the Giants' offensive line is not a concern? Jason Garrett is having to roll out Daniel Jones to the right on every passing play so he doesn't get sacked blind side, left side from Nate Solder. Nate Solder is god-awful. And talk about being wrong. I'll tell you this. First 3 games, I'm looking at Nate Solder like, Von Miller throwing you on your back. I don't know who it was in the Atlanta Falcons game. He threw him on his back. I hadn't seen a lineman get, like, you're not supposed to be getting pancaked by the defensive line. That's an offensive line stat. I pancaked them. You're not supposed to let the defensive line pancake you. And after that game, I was like, yo, I got faith in Nate Solder. I think he could be the starter on this team because we really don't got nothing else. Okay, we dealing with scraps here at the table trying to prepare a full 3-course meal here. And I'm like, there's no one else that's going to step in for Nate Solder. So he going to have to step up and handle business. I thought he'd be able to do that. Nate Solder looking like one of the worst offensive linemen in the National Football League right now. I guarantee you, book it. He's going to retire when the season's over. He might retire during the season.
Yeah, I mean, he just hasn't. He hasn't performed. He's not performing. I mean, it's so many different things. It's missed blocks, penalties. I mean,
can't run block. No one on this team can run block. All the praise that Andrew Thomas gets for when he's healthy, show me him run blocking well. The Giants put up 60 total rushing yards week 1. Booker's got 60 rushing yards in this game. I don't know who else ran the ball in this game. Booker's got 60 rushing yards.
Daniel Jones has been a leading rusher for 90% of the season.
Recipe for disaster, bro.
Big shout out to Jeff for the $2 super chat. Says, love Shep, quads, slay, but gotta go unhealthy.
I'm starting to feel like that too. But the one thing that I think that this helps out Saquon Barkley a little bit is that maybe when it come time to re-sign him, he's not going to sign for that bag that everybody thought he was going to get. Yeah. And maybe you bring in another running back and pair him because, look, I think the same thing with DeAndre Swift in Detroit. And I know that's your man. But he's not the kind of guy that you want to have rushing between the tackles on first and second down. That's why they got the homie Jamal Williams over there. It's a great pairing. But Jamal Williams wasn't active for this game, right, against the Eagles, and you saw it. Swift struggled. Swift is more of like the J.D. McKissick vibes. They got to turn Saquon Barkley into Alvin Kamara. I've been saying this for 2 damn years, man. He's a playmaker. You don't want him to be between the tackles trying to run the ball.
So many, yeah.
I said shout out my Dominicano. Shout out Platino Power one time in the building, yo. Salute to you, fam. I appreciate you pulling up, man, especially when this team is just looking god-awful. You got to understand how difficult it is to try to come up here and actually give consistent content when this team is losing like this, bro. I'm glad you brought the positive vibes today, bro, because it could have been a lot of screaming if we had last week Beard and this week Awthentik. My God. Yo, dog.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, man. Like, I had a whole thing that I was going to go and I was going to spew because of the way that, I was just turned off by the Washington fan base on Twitter, it turned me off. Like the crying and the complaining and this and that. Like, I understand, we're fans, right? And we're going to be upset when our team doesn't win, right? But I mean, it's not like having false hope and not holding people accountable, whether it's the coaching staff, management, or players, right? But it's just it's gotten so microwave society, where it's just you specifically for Washington, we brought in Ron Rivera. You knew that it was going to be a process. We are not even a full 2 seasons in with 1 division championship, and you guys are ready to fire the guy.
Yeah.
Do you guys realize the absolute disaster that he walked into and the quarterback situations? Had some of this recent disaster fall on him, his own fault? Absolutely. But you cannot sit here. Shout out to Nick DeWick. Says, I turned 17 and I'm taking my driving test tomorrow.
Don't even be nervous, dog. You got it. Ain't nothing but a 3-point turn, quick parallel park. You out of there.
Just make
sure you got them questions right. The exam on the computer is the real deal part, for real. The driving part, pretty simple, man. Just go in there confident. Make sure you rereading them. I don't know if they still got the little you remember the little pamphlet they used to have in our day? You used to have to study the pamphlet. They would reword the questions when you got there. But you should be all right, man. Definitely keep us in the loop with that. Let us know if you passed that, man. And if you failed, ain't no big deal, bro. Just get right back up. A couple weeks later, get back, try again. I
failed my first time.
Yeah, and I remember you was scared to get on that highway for a long time. Oh, God. I got homies that still won't drive over a bridge.
Yeah.
Are you one of them homies?
Nah.
Okay, good.
Man, I'm Bay Bridge.
The way you said that, I was like.
Well, because look, this is the thing, right? Like, when you're on the bridge, right, You just gotta keep your head straight. Like, you can't be looking all that. One of these days we'll tell everybody the entire Awthentik and the Beard Bay Bridge story. Have a few brews. You got this. I would advise against that.
I would not advise you to drink before that test. Could you imagine you the instructor and homie gets in the car to take the test and you smell alcohol in his breath? Like, man, hold up, come over here, cuz. Let me take you over here to this officer real quick.
That's like a one of those prank shows.
Yeah, straight up.
Like
that would be a good one. Oh, I'm trying to think who that was. Yo, somebody gave me a fantastic suggestion for something at the end of the year. Remind me to run that by you when we get off air. We got a great concept with this homie. I forget who it was. I got a shot in my next episode too, but remind me about that.
We'll do. So yeah, just stop. We can't fire everybody right this second, okay? I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's just like the repetitiveness of fire everybody and this team sucks and the season's over and
that's the voice I read all them tweets in too, right there. This team sucks, man. It's a bunch of bros complaining about football at home on the couch.
Listen, I try to use this, and I don't want to get all, sappy, and I don't want to, try and, block people from having the feelings that they have about their football teams, right?
Oh, I'm quick to be like, boop, block.
But listen, somewhere there is a kid who is sick, who is cheering no matter what for their favorite team, their favorite player, and they don't care if they drop the ball. They don't care if they win the game. They're just happy that they're able to watch their favorite player or their favorite team play this game every Sunday. Yeah. So sometimes you got to think about it from that perspective.
Did you see the kid on Pat McAfee?
Yeah, I've watched his podcast before.
Yeah, the Colts fan. That was a good story. I like that one.
He is a Eagles fan.
But he liked Wentz. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So but I mean, that's those sort of situations are you kind of have to take things into perspective. Like, it's okay to be upset with your team, with your players, this and that. But at the same time, bring it in for a little bit of perspective. You gotta, it's a fine line. I understand that because these guys are getting paid a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But it's just like sometimes you got to sit back and be like, you know what? It's Sunday. I get to watch football. If my team wins, I'm going to be super excited. If they lose, I'm going to kind of be like, ugh,
Hey, shout out Joe Vargas one time, man. We appreciate you pulling up in the building, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
Sure. And look, I think the Awthentik and myself are both mirror this.
Man, 1,000%, bro. Like, if we were down in the dumps like this alone, I'd be like, oh, man, this is just watching y'all win. But, I mean, I got to deal with Monique here in the chat every week talking about her Cowboys. I got to deal with BB Jones leaving comments like, don't you pick against my Cowboys ever again. Never, ever. And then my brother's a Cowboys fan. He hasn't been calling me that much. Chaz has not surprisingly been calling me that much after games either, so I'm pretty happy about that. But, yeah, man, it's nice to have somebody.
Don't let those Eagles win another game.
Oh, man, the Eagles are back in it now. This is kind of getting scary. They got 3 wins here. I only picked them to get 5 wins on the year. Yo, and there's another homie on Twitter. I don't want to butcher his Twitter name, but he was also saying that Giants fans need to lay off Jalen Hurts because you look at the stats, Jalen Hurts is balling out right now in comparison to Daniel Jones. The numbers look a lot better. And he said, I know numbers aren't everything, but for y'all to be, really giving this guy a lot of BS and he's actually outperforming Daniel Jones at the moment is kind of crazy. He actually responded to the one where I said a lot of Giants fans are acting real delusional right now.
I mean, Jalen Hurts he's got a path. They don't mess it up for him, man. Run the ball a little bit. That guy.
Yep.
He knows how to make plays.
And then really get to business in the offseason and get the mechanics down and turn him into a better quarterback.
I don't know, Miz. I don't know. He might have had a little bit. Might have had a little bit to do with it. But
for sure. Shout out to Miz one time in the building. I mean, Joe Judge got a lot to do with it.
I think it's the penalties to me. That last drive, defensively,
It's
you had
crazy
the
that you could just
lead.
literally just give one little piece of advice that would make people not jump off sides. Hey, this is a critical drive here. I'm gonna need y'all to look at the ball.
Yeah,
coach.
like this. I'm pretty sure it's like
Coach tell you that and you jump off sides.
In basketball, you have that huddle right before you go out for the big play. No fouls.
Right.
Like that's it. Like we should have something similar to that. Like
They are, dog. They're talking on the sidelines between every play. Why is O'Shane Ximines on the field?
okay, so can I have a why? Why are they dropping Chase Young back in coverage? I just want to throw that one out there since we're doing whys and
I'd have to see the scheme.
Like
I mean, he wouldn't be the first defensive end you've seen drop back in coverage.
Yeah, I know.
I've
but
seen that
it's
play
just,
get interceptions before, but I don't know the play you're talking about. I'm going to keep it funky.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, Miz says, how about never having timeouts in the last 3 minutes of like every game, which happens every damn game with Joe Judge.
Well, I mean, that's the headsets, man.
Yeah, it's the headsets, man. Software. He said software
update.
He said software and hardware updates. What are we talking
I don't know
about?
how deep you got into that. I read a little bit into the article. It was pretty interesting, actually.
I didn't see the specific article you're talking about, but I watched the whole presser, and I'm like, what the hell is this dude saying?
Yeah,
the first thing that he came out and said was that. Like, what the?
I read an article, and they kind of went into like the details of how, like, the NFL does run, the headset situation, and there have been these switches in the systems, and then they talked about how, I want to say it was McAdoo, had a similar situation happen, and they had to use walkie-talkies on the sidelines.
Yeah,
and they got in trouble for it.
Bro, I don't care if you use one of those joints that like the male cheerleaders be having where they can like scream. I don't care if the team knows my play, bro. I don't get the play in, man. You got 40 seconds.
Yeah, don't you have like Mike Glennon on the sideline? Like,
it's ridiculous, bro. There's no excuse for that. Man.
In college they got the big boards with the they got like the fruits and stuff like that, and they're on the sideline like this, and they just show all the boards,
Yeah, I mean, dog. There's plenty of ways to be able to get a play in. There's plenty of ways to get a play in. The Giants are ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know if it's worse to be a Washington football team fan right now or to be a New York Giants fan.
Well, I'm just glad we're in it together, brother.
Yeah, I hate it, bro. I hate it. I be telling people, man, misery loves company, but damn, I almost wish y'all was out of this.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe one of us makes a wild card.
You remember when y'all were in the playoffs last year? I felt good. I was rooting for y'all, man.
I know.
Like, it's bad, bro. It's so bad right now. And it's like, they got no answers. Like, you play the game. Defense holds you in this game the whole time. Offense can't generate a drive to save their butt, man. Like, time of possession, bro, they dominated by 11 minutes. What are we doing? Go get a damn running back. God,
I mean,
damn.
I was surprised. I thought you guys were going to go after Marlon Mack today. Nope.
Dog, my man Double Easy said Radio Shack walkie-talkies. I don't care if you get 2 cans and a piece of string to the huddle, man. Get the play in, bro. Like, they're constantly just messing up, dog. Like, coaching, players, there's no consistency. Like, when I think about the Giants and I think about the most effective unit, and this was a conversation we had on Twitter as well when the homie was saying, yeah, the offensive line has been the best unit for the team. I go, what the hell are you watching? What are you watching? Our quarterback is clearly probably the best player we have and probably the most consistent thing we have on this team, but he ain't got the juice, man. He don't got the juice. I don't care what nobody says. We got to stop expecting a perfect situation around this guy for him to win games. And I'm cool with going into next year with Daniel Jones and the year after that. But go get the players to put around him to make it work, bro. Like, all these fragile Ferraris we trying to bring in, bro. Like, Kenny Galladay's sitting on the bench, man. They're paying this guy $74 million.
Hey, we're right there with you with a gentleman by the name of Curtis Samuel.
Oh, my God. How much did y'all pay Curtis Samuel?
I don't even want to know. It's a good amount of money. Not as much as Kenny Galladay, I think. I think we paid Curtis Samuel 40 to 50 million, and you guys paid Galladay 75.
3-year, $34 million deal. Yeah. God, I would feel much better about that. We paid Kenny Galladay 4 years. Oh my God. We could have had 2 Curtis Samuels, bro. We could have had 2 Curtis Samuels for the price of 1 Galladay. At least you got the chance of 2 of them being hurt. You know, 1 go down, we got another Samuel on the bench, dog. You know, when I said it's a homie I be chopping it up with on Twitter, he said he was showing some runs from Adrian Peterson, and somebody was like, yeah, that was 3 years ago. I was like, but bruh, there's only one Adrian Peterson. He went and found me the player profile of the other Adrian Peterson, and he was like, actually, there's 2 Adrian Petersons. I was like, oh, my God, bro. I was like, bro, Giants got to find a running back, man. I wish it could have been Adrian Peterson. I'm going to keep it funky. But you got Marlon Mack out there. Trade deadline just came and went. To me, that says the Giants are pretty much just going to, you know, they're waving the white flag now.
We're mailing it in.
It's over.
Okay. All right. Who gets more wins at the end of the season? Giants or Washington football team? I think that's a good way to end this.
Yeah, because I got to eat something, man. This has been terrible. Double E's been telling me this, too. We could have solved world hunger with Galladay, that contract he had. He was looking all right, too. He was looking all right when he was healthy. But he came into the year banged up, just like the rest of these fools, man.
Just like Samuel.
Just like Barkley.
Samuel
just
has
like
played
Rudolph. Just like Evan Ingram.
How many
just like Slayton. Just like Tony. Just like Shane Lemieux. God,
hey, our offensive line is up there with you now, though, guy. You know, I don't know who's gonna play. We just lost another one for the year.
Number 77 needs to get cut.
Trace Roulier. Yes, this is his first.
I thought his name was.
Man.
I was about to say. I thought his name was Samuel. His name was what?
No, the guy you're referring to is Sadiq Charles.
Sadiq Charles. They got to cut that guy.
It's his first game, man.
Bro, I don't care.
See, look, we can't have that.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. There's enough money for it to be where when it's your first game, you should be ready. What are they doing? Are they reading books on the sideline like Johnny Moxon was reading books on the sideline, and when it came time to play, he was ready. He was ready, bro.
He was not ready. He
was ready, bro.
He was not ready.
He had them jitters, but he settled in. He was like, hey, I'm going to need 5 wide receivers to the right. Coach was like, man, sit your ass down, man. We're not doing 5 wide receivers. You got to be ready, though. Like, keeping it for real. Like, you got to be ready.
They're not giving the third string tackle reps at practice, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. There's enough money where that shouldn't be an excuse, bro.
Well, that is a culture change that needs to happen in the NFL.
That's an organizational change. That's everything they got to change.
That's
because
a national
look, you got quarterbacks making like
every team is like that.
$40 million, bro. Colt McCoy was making like $10 million. What? What? In what world does Colt McCoy make $10 million and I'm here struggling to reach my first M? Colt McCoy?
Yeah, man. I mean,
come on, dog. There's way too much money for these players to come out there and literally play awful, bro. You could get guys off the street, man. Give me, rest in peace, give me a Kimbo Slice. Been out there fighting Bamas in the backyard. He can play right tackle better than Nate Solder, dog. Come on, dog. I'm hot in this joint right now, man. Damn. It's terrible. They're wasting. Yo, this could be a whole nother show, bro, but the NFL is wasting money. Ezekiel Elliott signing that contract.
So much money.
They're making too much money, and they're paying these players too much money, and in return, that raises the stock now for the position. They talking about trying to pay Daniel Jones $40 million? Does that look, dog, he looks like a Prius. He's efficient. He could get you where you need to go, but he ain't going to do it fast. Come on, dog. These dudes do not deserve this kind of money. They don't deserve this kind of money. They got to find a way to restructure this.
You better get ready, bro, because it's only going to get higher because of the new TV deal. So
see, and I don't mind the NFL making more money, right? Like the dude who started the NFL and, you know, passed it down generation when it was, you know, $8,000 league or whatever it was back in the day. And now you're talking about $1 billion corporation pretty much with that NFL shield, right? I don't mind them making the money.
More than what comes after billion?
Trillion comes after billion. So call it you want to call it a gazillion? I don't care what you want to call it. They're making the most money on the planet right now. That don't mean that these players got to get paid that amount of money. Okay? You can argue it all you want to. I'm only speaking my opinion right now.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones looking at a $40 million contract. Even Dak Prescott balling out. But you mean to tell me that he's worth $40 million and then we're not even talking about the advertisement money these guys making?
Yeah, I think.
Meanwhile, my teacher, who's out here busting her butt, is getting $20,000 a year, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about comparing athletes to non-athletes.
You have to.
I thought we were talking about comparing athletes to athletes.
No, we're comparing athletes to value, bro.
Oh, okay.
Don't I always talk about that? Value.
I'm not going to disagree with you at all.
Are these guys worth $50 million? No.
I thought
and then your backup is out here. How much does the third string tackle make on the team? Because when it's time for your $50 million guy to get hurt, and then the third string guy who's making league minimum like $900,000 comes in, he's straight up dookie. Why you think he dookie? Because you paid the other guy too much money. Yeah, and it's just like that, bro.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
That's what it is, man.
I understand that.
Maybe we could level the playing field a little bit, and maybe the starting left tackle is making half of what he makes, and we take the other half and spread it out to the other dudes. Do these players really want to win, or is it just about the bread?
Well, that's the problem. You're going to have some people that are about the bread and some people that are trying to win.
It's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting, man.
Why do you think Tom Brady always winning?
How many times have I said that this year, bro?
Restructuring his contract.
Every year. He's only 5% of the Bucs cap. I've said it 100 times this year, bro. And then people wonder why they winning games.
I mean, look, there are people that literally don't understand how the Tampa Bay can put together the roster that they do. How can they have all these players, all these star players, because they trying to win?
Right. And that's what I question about the Giants. You got a guy like Galladay making $74 million. Kadarius Toney on a rookie deal. He looks like twice the wide receiver. Come on, bro. They got to find a better way to do this. Like, yo, I don't look at how y'all spend y'all money, right? Like, you know me, I'm never counting nobody's pockets, bro. I'm not going to look at the way you go grocery shopping and go, oh, he spends $500 every 3 days on groceries. Man, I guess I got to spend $500 on groceries. Dog, just assess it. Find the players that want to come to New York and play for less money and put a better product out on the field. Because we paid Odell Beckham $91 million, which in its own right is ridiculous and it's crazy. But then you trade the best player on the team away, and then you go sign a guy who's half the wide receiver that Odell Beckham was when he left.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of it that doesn't make sense, man. I mean, look, we let Ronald Darby go because we didn't want to pay him the amount of money that he wanted. So he went and signed with Denver. Then we turn around and pay more money for William Jackson.
Right.
Like,
it's like, weren't you trying to get rid of the money problem?
Yeah.
Instead, you bring in a guy who costs more money, who's probably worse, who he's been hurt too.
It's are
we doing that because it's just tradition? Oh, they paid Ezekiel Elliott this much. Well, I guess I got to go pay Saquon this. And now you got fans doing the same thing, saying like, oh, well, we can't pay Saquon that money. Of course. What fool would pay Saquon Barkley the same kind of money that Ezekiel Elliott? You see the third down play Ezekiel Elliott just made? That's why he's getting that money.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is that because the contracts are dictating quote unquote market value.
Right, which is whack.
So and that's why shout out to the homie Paulie for the $2 super chat. Says New York is the Matrix.
No bull, dog. No
New York's the Matrix. Washington's the Matrix Reloaded.
Yo, I was gonna go with the third Matrix where like Neo's powers weren't really working and them aliens was coming down and they were just like, I don't know what the hell we gonna do. Cause this is ridiculous, bro. Like they spent $200 million in the off season pretty much, bro. And the product has been awful. Maybe we should have took some of that money and spent it on a coach. Your boy Joe Judge is on a 5-year contract, bro. Looking crazy. It's kids out here in Madden who can manage timeouts better than that.
I mean, listen, you knew, I mean, I'm not going to say you, but people have to realize that there needs to be that. I mean, you hired a guy who's a special teams coach. He's never been a head coach his entire life.
Why?
And look, we all gave him a pass and said, okay, you know, that first press conference, this guy, I like what he sounds like. He comes from Bill Belichick. You know, like the mini boxes were getting checked.
That's how we convinced ourselves. Yeah, he sound like Bill Belichick. Came from Bill Belichick, man. He gonna break that curse that them Bill Belichick coaches got.
Yeah, we checked all the mini boxes, but we skip over. It's like it's selective. It's very selective visions and selectives. I'm okay with, but I'm not okay with this. I'm okay with that. You know, like once again, we're convincing ourselves we are skipping over the fine print.
And Joe, just go get somebody that's proven. That's why people gonna hate me for this. Mike McCarthy. Everybody's like, oh, Mike McCarthy doesn't manage timeouts, blah, 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 blah. All this. Everybody got something to say about Mike McCarthy, right? But the Cowboys are sitting at 6-1. Mike McCarthy only got about 2 losing seasons his whole tenure in the NFL. Right now, I'm all for it. Just fire Joe Judge, bro. Let Jason Garrett take it over. I don't care. Jason Garrett got more proof in the pudding than Joe Judge does. Let Jason Garrett take it over for the rest of the year. See what he does. Find yourself a new head coach in the offseason or while you got Jason Garrett as the interim head coach. Because, bro, it's not working. It's not, no matter what they do. Even when a team like Kansas City comes out and don't even do nothing and give you an alley-oop to win the game, you can't find a way to win the game.
I'm surprised nobody's been fired yet.
I'm very surprised nobody's been fired yet,
There's usually a coach fired by week 8, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most definitely.
Gruden doesn't count because that wasn't, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't based on performance.
Yeah.
Right. It's been really bad, man. The New York Giants' whole organization for the past 10 years, it's been really, really, really bad, bro. I was hanging my hat on that, man. We get a Super Bowl every decade, just like the rest of these jokers out here. But, dog, it's not looking good for the New York Giants. Jeff says Mara don't got the balls to fire anybody. He needs to, bro. His reputation's on the line. When you come out and you get booed for the performance of a football team that you didn't even really put on the field, man. Like, people are like, it starts from the top. It's Mara. Man, he just got the bread. At the end of the day, he's not the coach. He's not saying, yo, we need to go get Daniel Jones and we need to go get Saquon Barkley. He's not the coach, bro. He's just supplying the bread. I go to the management when I go to the McDonald's and the fries is cold, bro. I'm not calling the McDonald's, say, hey, can I speak to the owner of McDonald's? Sir, I went to your Popeyes the other day, and there were 10 rats. I don't know if you saw that TikTok video.
I saw it.
I'm not eating Popeyes ever again, bro. That was ridiculous. But that's what we're seeing. Eastern Ave and Southeast, bro. But that's what we're seeing. That's exactly what we're seeing. A poorly managed Popeyes. That's what the New York Giants are, bro.
Man, whatever happened to they used to have this really good sauce at Popeyes, and they used to have a Cajun sprinkle too. Can't ever find that no more.
Bro, I'm liable to not ever eat Popeyes again. I'm liable to maybe not. Yo, I might not eat fast food no more after seeing that, because it's like, you know, that's going down. Fat said anywhere there's a vent, there's rats. I died laughing, dog. Brandon said that sweet heat, dog. Them sauces probably getting kicked around Popeye's floor.
Look, I was telling you earlier today, I said, anytime I got something spicy, I need something sweet with it. Anytime I got something sweet with it, I need something spicy with it. I love a good contrast. Yo, shout out to the diehard Giants fan for the $10 super chat. Just tuned in the past few seconds. I couldn't agree more. Get rid of Judge and let Garrett take over. Now clean house and get an outside. I thought that said maid, but get an outside mind. Take a back seat, Mara. Because, you know, clean house maid. I just kind of was.
Yeah, I feel you. That would have been a bar. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that, man. The coaches, This ain't working. And I see people on Twitter now like, Patrick Graham's a great coach after 2 damn games. He started off awful. This whole coaching staff has been dreadful.
Listen, and I guarantee you, those people who said that, if you go check the receipts, they're gonna be saying Patrick Graham needs to be fired 3 weeks ago.
Or they're the ones that are like anti-Garrett, and they just want to die, on that hill of like, oh no, it's not Patrick Graham, it's Jason Garrett. But Jason Garrett has probably been the best coach on the Giants staff this year. Argue with me all you want to. I don't care. Whatever. But Patrick Graham, inconsistent all year long. Chiefs have not been some, like, fantastic offense this year. I think they're going to get it turned around, but they haven't been some fantastic offense. They can't run the ball. And people wondering why the Chiefs are struggling. They can't run the ball. You got to be able to run the ball in the NFL. I don't care who you are. That's how you control the clock. That's how you keep quarterbacks on the sideline.
Man, I've been how long? I feel like I've been talking about running the ball for 2 years, man.
I've been talking about running the ball my whole entire life.
Big shout out to
Run the ball, stop the run.
Yeah. The game is won in the trenches, ladies and gentlemen.
All day.
$9.99 super chat. They are mad at the wrong Mara. Chris Mara took over as VP player personnel in 2011, and they have sucked ever since. He has no idea what he's doing and never belonged in a role to begin with.
That might be the case too, man. But like, the coach, it's not like Joe Judge is working with like college talent. I don't care who you bring in, develop them. I'm sure we don't got to work.
Listen, there is no more development in the National Football League. These people, they want it now. They don't have the patience for development.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, too. Back in our day, man, you would see a quarterback with the same team for 10 years, finally get it together in year 7. Tiki Barber stopped fumbling after 5 years, man. 5 years of fumbling.
That's why I remember, I'm not going to drag this out any longer. Before we get to this question, I know you got to eat. We got, but look, we talked about this before, XFL, right? How you see in baseball, they got the minor leagues. In hockey, you got minor leagues. The basketball has a G League. There's no developmental at all for the NFL.
At all. And maybe that's because the life of the player is shorter. But here's the thing is now they're like, when they say like a wide receiver's old and washed when he's 30, that's crazy to me because I know how the body works, okay? At 30, some people at 30 be stronger, more in shape than they was when they was 22. You got to think about it. You're dealing with a young mind and a physical body. Sometimes those two things, they don't get the balance that they necessarily need. And a guy has to be in the league for 4 or 5 years to even find his identity on the field. Saquon Barkley, maybe, comes into the league with one of the best quarterbacks pre-snap in the league at the time, and Eli Manning, getting him in the right position, putting him where he needs to be as a great rookie campaign. It's been downhill ever since, bro. Who pulled the plug on him? Your boy Pat Shurmur and the rest of these Giants pulled the plug on Eli Manning and jumped the gun on Daniel Jones, pressing for wins, just pressing to try to get back to be right. Just let it develop, man, which is why I think for y'all got a better chance than the Giants right now because y'all, it's Ron Rivera's second year. But the other thing about Ron Rivera is he's getting really old. He's shrinking, like literally. His body, you remember the big stature he used to have? Ron Rivera played ball, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
He was part of the Monsters of Midway in Chicago Bears, linebackers.
Yeah, so, I mean, you see his stature shrinking. He's getting a little old, but hopefully, man, y'all can find the right guy to turn the reins over to. But, I mean, both these organizations are in really, really, really crappy places, man.
Big shout out to Lax Ofofo for the $4.99 super chat. The last 3 coaches and last 2 GMs haven't been able to develop these players. The one consistent has been Chris Mara, and they all report to him.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Lax. I'm not the one to be talking more about what's happening way up top in the front office. But I just know, bro, they got NFL talent on the field, and they not doing what they supposed to be doing with it. We look at this roster starting the year, especially pre-injuries, we're like, this team should win some games. They doing the same thing they've been doing, losing close games. And I'm one that goes by that eye test, man. Joe Judge out there looking a little shook. I be seeing him doing this during the game, Beard. He be like this. What'd that tell you? What'd that tell you? some nerves maybe kicking in, some anxiety kicking in. You saw Pat Shurmur post game. That dude was not it. I don't care what nobody say. That dude, he the kind of coach that when I was young, if he was my Pee Wee coach, we clowning him, bro. McAdoo, maybe. McAdoo, I think they pulled the plug on McAdoo a little too early. Don't forget, 11-5 season. Let me tell you, and when I say this, you tell me if you still feel the same way with that. I don't know. He was 11-5, bro. Then they fired him week 10 the following season. The Giants had 2 wins. And that was the year, that was 2017 when we lost Beckham, we lost Shepard, we lost Harris, and we lost Brandon Marshall. That looks like this year, right? If we get to week 10 and Joe Judge ain't fired, I'm going to be looking at this crazy because Ben McAdoo in his first year took the Giants to 10-6 playoff season, the boat trip. We failed in 2016 in the playoffs. He comes back the next year, and we talking some real injuries happening there. We got Brandon Marshall. The hype was behind the Giants. Everybody's like, I remember Max Kellerman was on ESPN talking about Giants got the best wide receiver core in the NFL. Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, Odell Beckham, and Brandon Marshall. It sounded really good. And then they all got hurt. They didn't give Ben McAdoo no pass, bro. They fired his ass. You still feel that way? You still feel like they might not have jumped the gun on him?
No. You present a solid case. And I can't, I mean, because when you put it like that, I realize how microwavable they have presented his failure to you, because it's like, he has that 11-5 season, and then he's 2-8, and you're like, oh my God, the world is ending. It's all coming down. Like, we're 2-8.
Paper, bro. They spent all that money, and they're like, how we gonna spend $200 million? You got 2 wins. I don't care who's hurt.
How much money you spend right now, and you got 2 wins.
This is looking eerily similar to 2017 right now.
I wonder what the Vegas odds are on first coach to get fired right now. I bet you Joe Judge is up there.
Gotta be. I mean, who would you say is? And we'll close out here. We've been saying this for a while. Who is on a hotter seat right now than Joe Judge?
Because you got to think like this. All the other teams that have really bad records are first-year coaches. And listen, I am on record as I don't care how bad it is. I don't believe in firing a coach in his first season. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay,
that's crazy.
We'll go through it really fast. In the East, you got Joe Judge. Ron Rivera is not necessarily. He might be on a hot seat in the eyes of some fans but he's not
hotter than Joe Judge. No way.
No way. And his role in the organization is much more important than Joe Judge. Joe Judge is just a coach. Okay, so Sirianni's a first-year coach. Mike McCarthy, they're winning. Okay, Mike Zimmer for the Minnesota Vikings, he's got to be on the hot seat at this point now. Mike Nagy, he's out. He's gone.
You might be onto something right there with that one. Yeah.
Nagy's got to be gone. Zimmer's hot seat. I mean, everybody in that division.
What you think about Matt Rule after losing 4 straight?
I don't know. That's a bit tough. That's a bit tough. They've had some
fired
injuries.
McAdoo and Reese. I appreciate you for bringing that up, Jeff, because I forgot about that. They fired the GM and the coach after that 2-8 start.
You rarely see that.
And who was it that said? Somebody said we played bad teams that year too. But I mean, the Beard always says, man, you don't pick the games. You don't pick the opponent.
You can only play who's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And in the West, I mean, you're not getting rid of McVay. You're not getting rid of Pete Carroll. You're not getting rid of Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? Or Kingsbury.
Oh, my God. Can we just, take the 49ers and just, fuse them with the New York Giants? Bring Shanahan over here. We make one team. Is that illegal?
Can we join that team?
We could take y'all best players, too. We could be like the New York 40 football team.
What about Brian Flores?
He had that good season last year. It did look like the rebuild was going the right way. With them, I think it's a player development and drafting the right players, too, over there. They don't get the right players. I don't like their running back. I don't like their wide receiver core. I like the pick with Waddle this year. I thought that was a good pick. I don't like the quarterback. I don't like a lot of players on the defense.
I mean, Belichick's not going anywhere. The Jets head coach, Saleh, it's his first year. Bills head coach isn't going anywhere. You go to the Central, Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere. Harbaugh's not going anywhere. The Bengals are on the up and up. I mean, the Colts, Frank Reich, he's probably not going anywhere. Urban
Nope.
Meyer just got there. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And then the Texans they just hired him. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee, Vrabel's always on the hot seat, I feel like, in Tennessee.
Yeah, but they started, now they're what, 5-2 or 4-3? At the top of that
5-2.
division. Yeah. And they did it when they're battling injuries too, bro. Julio Jones been hurt all year. A.J. Brown was out. Now they got Derrick Henry out for the year with the foot injury. They're about to bring in Adrian Peterson. They're going to get the 9 wins. Watch.
Yeah. And then so after that you go to the West and the Chiefs, they're not going anywhere. The Raiders, they're going to have to get a new coach because that guy might end up getting the job because they seem to be responding well to him, but they never give head coaches to interim coaches. I don't understand that, but they don't. And
yeah, you're right about that.
Then you got the Chargers. They just got their brand new coach already. And then what's the other team in that division? The Broncos. Okay, Vic Fangio. He's probably on the hot seat.
Yeah, Vic Fangio, he might be. But I mean, they're winning games right now. They're above 500, right? Or no, they just got back to 500.
Yeah. So you got about four coaches, I think, that we pretty much. So Joe Judge is definitely in the top there. Nagy's number 1 probably. And then Judge. Then I'd probably put Joe Judge 2.
Yeah.
Shout out to diehard Giants fan for the $10 super chat. I don't know how guys do with mods, but Sabrina will be a major asset.
Yeah, I just took care of it because that's facts. Sabrina been here rocking with us since day one for sure, yo. So I definitely just gave you the wrench one time. And appreciate you suggesting the moderator. That's awesome, bro. I appreciate that. Y'all, if y'all ever got any suggestions for moderators, definitely let us know. And NYG Jeff, I just made you a moderator too because you've been in the building. You've been chopping it up with us on Twitter all day for real, man. And I got to get Double Easy too because Double Easy been supporting the channel major too. So let me make Double Easy a mod as well. Bong. Ah, what a day. That felt good, though, man. We needed that.
It did.
We needed that, man.
Good cop, bad cop we just played.
Good cop, bad cop. Like an episode of First 48. Hey, but we definitely appreciate everybody still being in the building. We got about 60 still in the building, man. 2.5 hours in. I thought this was going to be a shorter stream per usual, man. But when we get to chopping it up with the fam, you know what it is, man.
We tried.
We tried, man. Let's get some biceps in the chat one time before we get up out of here for the Awthentik and the Beard squad because the Giants and the Washington football team, they don't deserve anything right now. They've been struggling, man. Who y'all got next week?
We got a dub next week.
A dub? What y'all on, bye?
Yep.
What up, Los? How you living, man? Los said, what up, Beard?
What up, Los?
Y'all got the bye.
Yep.
It's horrible. You're not going to win.
We ain't going to lose.
You ain't going to lose, though. You ain't got to deal with that. You ain't got to deal with that, man. Wow, man. Some people still just tuning in.
Who you guys got? The Saints, Raiders, Broncos?
We got the Raiders.
Not Broncos. Raiders.
Yeah, we get the Raiders, then we go into the bye.
Home or road?
That's a good question. Let's pull that up one time. God damn, that font is so little. It's a home game. Yeah, it's a home game. And we're terrible at home. I think we just got our 10th win under Gettleman.
They set us up.
They did.
But then, you know, they set us up, but they're like, hey, look, we're going to try and help you guys out a little bit.
But, man, look at them first 3, bro. You got to come out 2-1. You got to come out 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, we slipped up, but they're like, the nice gesture they gave us is we'll let you guys play Tampa Bay after your bye weeks.
They did do that. Yeah, you get everything together. You get to scout them for 2 weeks and still take an L.
Big shout out to diehard Giants fan for the
oh my God, bro. We appreciate that,
respect
fam.
to you both. Love the grind. We appreciate it for sure.
Damn, that's major, fam. We appreciate you, man. Couldn't do this without none of y'all in the chat, man. Like this, I definitely found a new love when it comes to just chopping it up about Giants football and podcasting. And Beard, I'm telling you, I know you're not feeling it, man. I'm about to stop talking about the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you. I'm about to just be like, the Cowboys won 20-16. Any thoughts, Beard?
Yeah, I mean, we'll shrink it. We'll shrink it.
Then I'll be like, I got 2 nuggets. Ezekiel Elliott ran over the whole Vikings team to win the game. Touchdown to Amari Cooper.
Listen, we were trying to do that, and then when we start talking football, and it's like,
and it just gets crazy.
Yeah.
You remember the announcer in Major League Two?
Man.
You remember the announcer in Major League Two that like not the main announcer,
the young guy who took over when
the dude who had to take over, and he was like,
out, yeah,
pop fly over center field, and it's caught out. That's how I'm about to start doing these, bro. If you haven't seen Major League 2, man, we definitely talked about Major League 2. That's one of the top sports movies for me, man. Like, it ain't one of those, like, shot well type joints, but it's just a solid movie, man.
Major League, you could watch Major League 1 and 2 back to back, and they're so different. The fact that you get Wesley Snipes in one Major League and then Omar Epps in the second Major League, it's like a whole new Major League.
I think Omar Epps was a better Willie Mays Hayes, too.
That is a
good question.
Debate. That's a great debate.
That's what I should have did for Halloween. I should have went out there and got me an Indians baseball uniform and just been Willie Mays Hayes, bro. All right, next year, bro, we're going to bring back Wild Thing and Willie Mays Hayes. That we at least for one party. We got to. Hopefully the world's not in this major pandemic like it is now. We got some parties to go to.
Yeah. Big shout out to my fiance.
Hey, what's going on, Josie? Josie always in the gym or on vacation. I want that kind of life, Josie. What I got to do? Tell me. Tell me now.
Been another great day, man.
Yeah, definitely made the day better here, man. I'm glad I didn't have to do a giant overreaction because I would have lost it. I wouldn't have had that balance from you today. I needed that balance, man. You know, when the left side is also known as the weak side. And today it was the weak side. You know, I represent the weak side today. Maybe we should switch the cameras and put me on that side since I'm left side. But I was definitely the weak side today, man. I was hurt. My damn Giants, man, they're terrible again, man. We have to deal with knowing that our teams are pretty much not making the playoffs, and we're just right here in November.
Whoa.
I said pretty much. You disagree with that?
Yeah, I do. You know what?
Hold on. Say it with your chest right now.
We're in it, so we're not in it.
We not in it.
No, Josie, we are not becoming consultants. We need consultants.
Us? We are not financial advisors. We are not consultants here. Don't take any of this advice without taking it with a grain of salt. Not the vibes over here. Not the vibes. I don't want you to be like, Awthentik, you told me to start Sterling Shepard. Nah, cuz. Matter of fact, I'm going to holler at the graphics department. I think it's essential we get a graphic that says we are not financial advisors here at Awthentik in the Beard. Use your money at your own risk.
Hey, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Awthentik and I will be on Rambling with Rio Rambling. The link for that live is in the description of this video, so make sure you guys go there after this show. Set your reminder. You know, bring everybody over there. We're going to raid it. We're going to show some love. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty raw, I think.
No, Met says we still need no reaction this week. I'm going to just clip up that little bit right there. I'm going to pre-program a live. I'm going to be like, new Giant overreaction. And I'm going to just repeat what we did here on the Giants Chiefs recap one time. I got to send a big shout out to the homie Monique one more time. Monique, we need to get you on the show, man. Your Dallas Cowboys are doing a fantastic job this year. And me and the Beard, we're talking about some more content where we do bring on some more of the people that are in the chat and some of the fans so y'all could chop it up in person with us and give your thoughts on both of these teams, and maybe some of these Dallas Cowboys fans can pop in, and maybe some of you Philadelphia Eagles fans can pop in as well.
Yeah, man, whatever happened to that young kid who used to come into our Dallas Cowboys fan? He used to come
Deke, right? Deke, I think his name was Deke. Yeah, Deke. Yeah, he was the young bull with AJ for season 2. I don't know where he been at, man, but you know, young people got lives, man. You know, they got things they got to do sometimes. It might be a school type thing, might be a college type deal. You know, some of the folks went to college this year. They probably real busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Left side.
Gave the little pump of the pen. All right.
Look, I'm ready.
Josie sending you texts like, man, you need to get back home right now.
No. I'm here, man. I got a whole table of glass that needs to get packed up tonight.
How'd the auction go yesterday?
Good. We got 23, 22 items that got to get packed up today from last night. So
that's what's up, man. We'll get to it, man. I won't hold you any longer here, man.
Oh, to get my John Morant autographed basketball in.
Oh, that came in?
Yeah, it's right here. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do want to see it.
Oh, hey.
Let's get some John Morant music going. If you aren't subscribed to Over the Years, man, make sure y'all subscribe to Beard. Be having some gems on that channel. He's got a bunch more stuff in the works too, man. Look at, oh my God. What? Yep. It's lit one time.
You got the Beckett certification right there.
Hey man, let's go shoot some hoops with that thing one time.
No. Look, it's good too. This is a game replica ball too, man.
Yeah,
Big
it's a real
fat
deal.
Panel signature right there, man.
So let me ask you this: what would be your reaction if, say, your sister?
AJ was in
he went out and played at Evans with that joint.
It's authentic. Man.
Oh man.
You know that's my luck.
right.
That's why you asked me that.
He's like, we ain't have a basketball, Uncle Tim. You know, it'd be like the Sandlot all over again, yo.
I was just gonna say that. Who is not Baby Ruth? Who's Ja Morant?
Ja Morant.
Some guy named
They
John
was like,
Morant.
Babe Ruth.
It's a Baby Ruth.
Yo, all right, so I got 3 movies. Everybody got to watch these 3 movies. Damn it, I know why the Giants lost, bro. I didn't watch Little Giants leading up to the week like I said I was going to.
You said you were going to do it.
Ah, Monique.
Spike don't care.
Come on, I got to watch that joint. But we got to watch Sandlot. We got to watch Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and it was a third. Oh, Major League 2. Those gonna be the 3 movies for movie week for my losing Giants, man. You know, so if y'all need some content, y'all can watch. Definitely check them out, man. We appreciate y'all hanging tough with us, man. Today, almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 47 minutes. Might as well hit the 3-hour mark. I'm just playing with you, bro. We're gonna have to call this one a show. I'm gonna get myself some grub. Big Pat in the building one time. Shout out to Big Pat. Yes, we are still live, man. The Colossus of Clout. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Remember, they named all his nicknames, and then it was like, Babe Ruth. He was like, no. Stepdad's going to whoop me. It was terrible, yo. That's what you get, man. You got to play catch with your son, man, especially when you the stepfather. You got to do things with the kid, man. Went out there and stole your baseball, man. But appreciate y'all pulling up again, man. We're going to be live tomorrow with Rambling with Rio. Make sure to check us out. That link is in the bio. Beard plugged that real nice just now. Thursday, we'll have our preview show for the games coming up in week 9. We're already at week 9, man. It feels like I've been podcasting for 2 years straight right now talking football, but it doesn't feel like it should be week 9, which is kind of crazy. Y'all know what it is. Get them biceps up one time, man. Shout out to the homie NYG, Jeff in the building, man. We appreciate each and every last one of y'all, man. Y'all know what it is. We couldn't do this without y'all. Left side.
Strong side.
Hey, man, y'all be good, man. Keep living those dreams, man. I know the Giants, you know, that dream is kind of dead, but keep living those dreams, man. We'll catch y'all tomorrow on Rambling with Rio, and we'll catch y'all Thursday right here with Awthentik and the Beer, man. Y'all be good.
Peace.